All right. We are live. Cool. All right. Back with Warframe and some Reddit stories. Oh my god. Aww. Do, 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 do. Yep, I'm back now. There you go. All right. So it's the weekly reset. There's a lot to do, and I shall do it while remaining entertained.
Welcome to Reddit Stories. I'm Shane, and today's theme is all about friendship. We got friendships that are probably not gonna do so well. Joining me today are two friends.
Wow.
That's crazy. Was there a question mark in there?
Yeah.
Just a healthy hesitation, I guess.
I'm running out of ways to intro my guests. I feel like I've gone through every single, noun.
Get nasty with it now.
Okay.
These motherfuckers
Some
over
sauce
here.
on it.
Yeah, some sauce on it.
I'm here with Tommy and Courtney.
Hi.
Hi.
I would put you in my MySpace top 8.
Same.
Really?
Yeah, I never had a MySpace though.
Oh.
Wow.
Someone made me one, never gave me the login.
Oh.
Don't know how that worked.
They pretended to be you for years.
Oh my god, that's why the FBI's after me.
Oh.
Yeah. We can kind of gauge as we read these stories how much we think these friendships are going to last.
Okay.
How badly these friends have betrayed each other, perhaps. I don't know. We'll get a sense of it. It's Reddit. These friendships can't be doing too hot.
We should do a friendship
Indeed.
meter.
Oh, yeah. On 1 to 10 of how
1 to 10 of how
good their friendship is.
Yeah. Yep.
How good friend?
How good friend is.
How good friend. Our first story, this title, very fun. True off my chest. I broke off from a friend group I've known for 7 years over a tab at Chili's. It's happened to us all.
Yeah.
You know,
That makes-
Chili's.
Wow.
Chili's is the real test.
Chili's
It's-
makes us or breaks us all.
That's what they always say.
Things stack up at Chili's.
They
Yeah.
do.
I, a 20-year-old woman, have been friends with these two girls, Charlie, who's 20, and Alex, who's 19. We have been very close since middle school and get along and fangirl over the same anime, K-pop bands, artists, etc. One day we decided to go to our favorite spot, Chili's. We always separate the bill and there are 0 issues. However, Alex decides they want to invite a male friend, John, 18, which is fine with all of us. The food was good as usual. Then the server asked if we want to split the check. Then Charlie, who usually wants to split the check every time we go out and eat, says, all on one. I thought it was just her feeling generous that day, but then they started giving John shit, eating grins. Charlie said, John, you're paying for us all, just to be clear. John said, what? With visible confusion on his face. Alex and Charlie giggle, get up, and they leave. They signaled me to go as well, but I was just as confused as John was. WTF just happened. Me and John sit there awkwardly. The check comes to $125, and I tell the server to give us a moment to provide payment. I only had enough for me, $30, and John only had enough for him, $40. Charlie texted in our group chat asking if I was coming with them. I asked them, what the fuck are you doing? Then they went on to say that John should want to impress us and that it's a man's role to treat us like princesses or some BS. I thought they were joking, but they were dead serious. And upon me going outside to physically confront them, turns out they were serious. Because
Confusion.
they left me and John with no ride and the tab. I called my dad to ask if he could spare me $60 and said he could just cut off my allowance for 2 weeks. But he agreed with Alex and Charlie and said that this is John's problem now and not mine. It was like a scene out of a movie. I was in complete disbelief. I explained the situation to the server, who was super cool and told us if we couldn't pay now, I could just leave a number and they would charge me tomorrow. Out of one last-ditch effort, I called my uncle for the money, and he immediately understood and sent me the money. He even said he would be there to pick me and John up. I pay the tab. I apologize heavily to John about this entire situation, but he was actually really chill and super grateful for what I was doing. He explained he only had $40 from his birthday money and decided to spend it with his friends. I get a text from Alex in the group chat asking if John paid for the tab. I said, no, I did, and they got mad at me. Then my dad asked what happened. I told him the truth, that his brother paid for the tab, and he got mad at me. Do I live in the Twilight Zone? Am I crazy for not wanting to ruin a friend's life over Chili's? Anyways, after Alex said, I'm just not going to invite guys to our plans anymore, I left the group chat and blocked both Alex and Charlie.
Ooh.
John also cut ties with them, and we have started talking more and more, and we sometimes play Fortnite together. Anyways, the moral of the story, you think you know someone.
They're gonna fall in love.
They're gonna fall in
This
love.
is a very weird story.
So weird. It feels like a bunch of like young women learned the word chivalry for the first time and like decided to test it out, like test out the old.
Yeah, they're so
Yeah.
young.
Wheels.
Like they're like 18, 19, 20. It's like these are young people. Like leave those people. That's fine.
Yeah,
They're
no.
your friends.
I think I recall back when I was a teenager, shitty people love to find an excuse
Yeah.
to be shitty. You know, that's what,
Oh,
that's just what it seems
Stephalos.
like it is. It's just like, oh, well, he should want to do, it's like, you guys just wanted to screw someone over.
Right.
Like, you wanted to like take advantage of someone. You wanted to get a free meal. You're
Look at the
blaming it on this.
Stephalos.
Yeah.
It's so confusing. Like, it felt like all the other friends knew what the plan was except for OP. Like,
Right. Why didn't the other two
know?
let her? No.
Yeah.
Because then she could have been like, no, we're not doing that.
And just to try this on
That's
them,
why
it
the
feels
story is
so
weird.
That chivalry exists in terms of like, you know, wanting to extend your hand or kindnesses or things as like a form of politeness. But like, there's dynamics at play here. Like, not just any guy is gonna have the
Oh,
knowledge
shit.
or the means to like do these things at such a young age. Like, this kid doesn't have a full-time job, but he's like, yeah, I got it, guys.
Yeah.
Like, hello.
With this freaking birthday money.
They're all the kid is 18. He's
Yeah.
the youngest of them all, it sounds like.
It's not like he has a salary.
They were literally bullying this boy. Like, they're 19 and 20 and he was younger than all of them. They're expecting this kid who's younger than all of them to pay for all of their meals at Chili's.
If you're gonna be like if you're gonna test someone's chivalry, which is just like bleh, whatever, have the meal and then see if he offers it, but be prepared to pay for yourself.
Sure.
If you
Yeah.
want to do that.
Yeah, some people like to get a nice meal and a date can be the way, but it's like we're not about to like have 3 people expect one person. Like,
That's crazy.
like when you're on a date, you want to see like how we give and take in an experience like that. But like this is it's so weird.
I'm
Right.
spending
It's very weird.
$125 at Chili's. Something is wrong.
Yeah.
That's also true. I mean, it's been a long time since I've eaten at Chili's. I don't know how expensive it is, but it just fully feels like, you're right, bullying. Like, this was an excuse to bully, excuse to take advantage of
Amazing
someone.
shit.
I
Poor
can't believe, I
guy.
think the dad agreed just because he didn't
Yeah.
want to deal with it.
Yeah.
That's
was
what
just like-
that's my theory, is he's just like,
Yeah.
oh, God,
And then
why'd
the
you?
sweet uncle, the uncle
Yeah,
not only like
actually a good
got
guy.
you. Cool uncle alert. Hashtag cool uncle TM. Cool uncle, copyright inc.co. Very cool
All
uncle.
rights reserved.
All right, reserved, rising.
Yeah, and they invited him there and then expect him to pay the bill. The only time I think the expectation can be
Oh.
there is, I don't even know if there is a time, but unless like I invited you guys, I was like, hey, come to Chili's. No, not
I'm
even
gonna-
then.
But
Like,
then if you said, and I'm gonna
and
cover
I'm
it,
gonna cover it.
it has to be,
then
like,
you
known.
expect it. But
Yeah.
otherwise, putting it on one person is always kind of a douche
Yeah.
move.
Sometimes like if I want to hang out with somebody, I'd be like, I'll buy you a meal if you hang out with me.
Yeah, and that's
they'll be sure to come if I buy
Trade
them a
offer.
meal.
Yeah. I have your quality time. You have a meal.
there's a lot of comments. I'm a mom to both girls and a boy who are around your age. This is so wrong of your so-called friends and your dad. I'd be so angry if this happened to my son. At this age, everyone should pay their own way unless otherwise stated. Yeah, at that age, everyone's fucking broke.
Yeah.
Nobody has money
Oh, shit.
when they're
Mm.
20.
Yeah.
Someone said,
Right.
wow, I cannot believe your dad was fine with this situation. You did the right thing and your friends were classless. Yeah. Lastly, someone said, your friends and your dad are completely assholes. John was under no obligation to pay for anyone but himself. To assume he is going to pay for everyone is just beyond me. Glad you had the class to stay and help with the bill. I would have told the waitress to split it 4 ways after those 2 girls walked out. then give the rest
Hi,
of their
Nagata.
information so they can be responsible for their own meals. OP responded, I was considering many options, but my main thing was I didn't want to make a giant scene in front of someone I don't even know. Easier options first, then harder ones. In reality, this probably would have been the smarter option. Yeah, the fact that they got up and left too,
Yeah.
then I'm really like, this.
Yeah.
You didn't assume that he was actually going to pay.
That's like borderline
You dine and dash.
Dine and dashing. Yeah.
I think they effectively dine and dashed and tried to pin it on someone else.
Exactly.
So sad. I mean, those friends are fortunate that OP wasn't
A
like,
sandwich.
"Hey, well, now you owe my uncle money." Like,
Those are the types of people at that age, or at any
Nothing
age, but
fancy.
that you do need to cut off because they're going to get you in trouble.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
going to get you in trouble. Small update.
Oh, they're
Me
dirty.
and John still play Fortnite and have been dabbling in Overwatch as well. It's getting serious. He's actually a very funny guy who is open about his feelings. If we continue to connect this way, I may ask him to go on a proper date. Through some casual friends, I learned that Alex and Charlie think I'm overreacting and the same BS as before, that John should have wanted to impress us and that John should have had more money knowing he was going out to eat with 3 girls. Shocker.
Okay, well,
it's
they're
to
weird.
expect someone like to want to impress you. Like, there may have been a reality where, like, if a guy wants to impress you,
They
he
will
will
impress you.
offer.
Yes, it is. What do you
Yeah, they
mean?
will
Exactly.
go out of their way to do it.
What else is it?
This random guy gets invited to dinner, and this.
It's like,
It's,
what?
it's sad because
What?
I wonder where people are like,
Oh, what the
people are
fuck?
getting their information from.
I know.
Because I think that type of mindset is being spread around a lot.
No.
Well, glad she got away from them.
Yeah,
and
I
she's
wish
playing
her the best.
Overwatch
With her love of her life.
with the love of her life.
I hope they get a victory royale in the game and with each other. Was that?
The immediate regret.
Like,
All right, moving on. Our next story comes from relationship advice. It's a 25-year-old woman. My best friend,
I don't
a
eat
24-year-old
dessert.
man, proposed
I'm
to
not
me.
rich enough for
I'm
that.
confused and mortified. Where can we go from here?
Wait, your best friend
So
proposed?
they're
Were you?
friends.
To the altar?
Yeah, I was gonna say to the Vegas Temple.
They could get a victory royale in wife. Frankly, I'm still in shock that this happened, so this might be all over the place. Bear with me, all fake names, etc. Jordan and I met in university 2 years ago. We both started at the same time, and because of our ages, we were both considered mature students. So we quickly became firm friends as we shared a dorm and we'd joke around together about us being old enough to be considered mature in our early 20s. We weren't on the same course, but given we lived together, we would hang out pretty much all the time whenever we didn't have a lecture. We joined a bunch of societies together, went drinking every weekend together, etc. It was a pretty sweet gig because it meant we were at least never alone. Obviously, we made other friends, both alone and together, but we were always each other's number ones at the end of the day. And while we haven't hung out constantly, we decided to make plans to visit each other's hometowns because we're from very starkly different places. Today, we went to mine. Mine is a big
Wait,
central
what?
city. This morning we went there and we're wandering down the streets doing some sightseeing because he's never been.
How
There's
the
typically
fuck?
a lot of street sellers here trying to sell you everything from hot dogs
Oh.
to Pokemon hats. I decided I wanted to get a caricature done. I've never had one and I thought it would be funny to get and hang over my bed when we got back for term. I asked Jordan if he wanted to get in and he refused. No worries, so I sat down to get it done. They don't take very long, 5 to 10-ish minutes, so I stayed looking straight forward at the artist the entire time. He finished the character and I loved it, so obviously I turned to show it properly to Jordan. When I turned though, I literally don't even know what to say. He's down on one knee holding up a ring box. I don't even really know what he said, if he did the whole proposal speech thing because I was so confused, I was barely paying attention. Remember again, this is a super busy tourist city, so this has drawn a mini crowd now coming over to cheer us on. I couldn't help but burst into laughter. To be honest, I thought this was some kind of odd prank thing. We never have been prankster types or whatever, but I couldn't come up with a reasonable explanation. So I just laughed and laughed and laughed until I looked at Jordan and he looked genuinely heartbroken. So obviously I asked him something along the lines of, "You're not being serious." This is the only thing I remember him saying. He shut the box, stood up, shrugged, and said, "I guess not anymore," and walked off.
What the fuck?
This left me standing pretty awkwardly in this gathered crowd of people, a lot of who were giving me dirty looks, which made me incredibly uncomfortable. The plan was to meet back up at a hotel where we had booked rooms next door to one another. So I figured that's where he's going and head back that way. But he's not there, so I wait, and he still doesn't return. I texted him out of concern. This was at 1:15 p.m. It's currently 6:20 p.m. as I'm writing this, just asking if he's okay. He responds with a long message back, which I would post because it's an odd read, but I won't out of respect for his privacy, in which he basically accuses me of leading him on, asking why I didn't break up with him sooner, saying I had publicly humiliated him, and that he thought I loved him the same way, and that he felt our relationship was strong enough to consider taking the next step.
What the
I
fuck?
literally have got no idea where in the world he's got this idea from. The closest we've ever physically been is a hug, hello, and goodbye. I've never even jokingly flirted with him. For exactly this reason, I've had too many friendships collapse because they can't tell the difference between serious interest and joking banter in friendships, so I've been extra careful not to. We've never kissed, never been on a date, never had sex. I do not find him physically attractive, and I wouldn't want to be in a relationship with him. I don't understand where on earth he's got this idea.
Yeah, I'm doing the Ark and Hunt.
This isn't something he's ever brought up before, and I'm genuinely bewildered. He hasn't returned to the hotel yet. I periodically knock to check, and I've been listening for him walking up the hallway or something. Nothing. I haven't responded to his long paragraph because honestly, I don't know how to. I'm just so stunned and taken aback that I genuinely have no idea where to go from here or what to do. I haven't told anyone I know in person yet, mostly because I don't want to bring this up to people who know Jordan. So here I am turning to strangers on Reddit instead. What in the world do I do?
Whoa.
Guys, don't propose to someone if you haven't talked about proposing to someone.
Yeah,
Period.
Out of
End of
nowhere.
sentence.
I totally agree with that.
It's a conversation you have with your partner. Hey, dude, you thinking about getting married? Yeah, that'd be cool. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah. You
literally.
sure? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you can do a cute little surprise thing. Also, oh, the proposals in front of people.
Ugh.
On the Jumbotron in a crowded place. It's all
The
so like.
caricature artist is drawing the proposal, and then they look so silly when he's proposing to her.
It's just like, why make a big scene out of it? It's for
Ugh.
you two. It's not a show.
Some people love it, but if he had talked to her
Right.
and known,
I've been like, do you want a big old fancy crazy proposal? Or do you want me to just
And
Just
not
anything.
only the like
So
talk
many
about
talks.
a proposal, you're every step of the way is
Oh,
an
there's
agreement.
been no discussion.
so
I mean,
many talks that
'cause-
have needed to happen first.
'cause
Yes.
it
This
always
the story
feels like
makes
such
no
a
sense to
silly
me.
conversation to be like, so are we boyfriend girlfriend? But like,
But
it is an
yeah.
important step to be like, hey,
Yeah.
so are we exclusively dating? Like,
Right.
are we? All, there's so many steps that they never discussed.
Yeah.
But in his head,
He jumped to
he thought they
conclusion.
were.
It reminds
That's
me
so
of a story we
weird.
read a while back where it was two people who were best friends for a very long time, and suddenly this guy
Yes.
just started telling everybody that they were dating.
Yeah.
And then he just tried to like kiss her one day, and she was so confused. And he was like, "Yeah, so you're my girlfriend now,"
Yeah.
like claiming her. And it was like, this doesn't sound like the same situation, but I just don't understand how, like, that is so far from a relationship if you've been operating this entire time in your own mind and not communicating anything with the other person. There is no
Yeah.
relationship there
Yeah.
in reality and in each other's minds, like at all.
Right.
And how like damaging to the person who gets proposed to be like, I thought, do I not know what a friendship looks like? You know, it's like,
Right.
oh, I trusted this person and now suddenly they're doing this. The whole thing was a lie, I guess. Or
Yeah. And
more
blaming her
know.
for like, how could you lead me on? Like, I'll lead you
Yeah.
how? Point out to exact moments where this person has led you on by being in the same room as you
right,
for
to-
extended
to
periods
asking
of
to
time.
hang out like a friend.
I don't think there's any version of leading him on unless she said, I want to marry you. Like,
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
propose. I will say yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm like, no, and no point did you have this indication. Because yeah, some people don't
Ah.
have physical relationships. It's the physical
Yeah.
side doesn't matter. But there's been zero discussions. They have been friends. They have never claimed to be anything more.
Yeah. They haven't even kissed or held hands.
Yeah.
I'm just a little bit. I know everybody's different in their relationships, but I'm like, this
You
guy
gotta do
thought,
something.
like, this guy thought straight to proposing.
Yeah.
He
What
skipped
movies is
several
this man
steps.
watching?
What movies is this man's watching?
Comments. Wow, this is the biggest misread I've ever heard of. I don't think your friendship will recover from this, at least for now. The best you can do is make it clear that you don't feel the same way at all. But yeah, this is a friendship killer. Someone else said, yo, he wanted to take the relationship to the next step and decided to propose to you? Bro is either tone deaf or out of his mind. Y'all been best friends for 2 years. Have you actually dated anyone during this time? Don't see him alone. Someone else said, you can talk about this with whoever you want. It's your life. You thought he was your friend, but turns out that was a lie. You did nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, also 2 years and they're in college. I mean, like, that's fast by standard relationship.
Yeah.
This is
Insane.
I think his ideas of relationships are very skewed.
Fantastical.
Seems like, yeah. Unfortunate. Very
Very.
unfortunate.
And so they said they shared the same dorm. Were they
Oh,
in the
wow,
same like,
nice.
building that had different dorm rooms, or did they share a dorm room?
I guess
with
that-
their
Sounds like they
dorm?
are like next door to each other, or like across the hall or something.
Yeah.
Nagato, yes,
Maybe
but
they
also
Even though
that's
sharing a
insane.
bedroom.
I don't
That's
think
They're
they
just
would
probably not
allow
sharing a
that,
bedroom,
yeah.
but they're
insane.
probably sharing a building. They're probably just friends.
It might be, yeah, because I know that the like dorms on some colleges can be like on a smaller scale, like a house kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they can be co-ed.
Mhm.
So maybe it's something like that.
Update.
No.
Okay. Is the caricature artist there?
He quickly draws one of him going like,
Oh.
Jordan did, in fact, not come back to the hotel. I stayed up until 1 a.m. before falling asleep and he didn't return. When I woke up the next day, the hotel staff let me know he had checked himself out at about 6 a.m. I did end up responding to his big, long text. I took everyone's advice and told him that I was sorry it didn't go as he had expected, but that I wasn't sure where he'd got the impression we were together. I said I'd be happy to sit and have a discussion about it all so we could make sure we were on the same page. He was not happy about this at all, and he again went off with a bunch of the same type of things he'd said in his first message. It didn't really seem to be going through his head at all. Even in these new texts, he kept referring to this all as me breaking up with him, despite me explicitly telling him we are not and never have been together. Again, all his messages were very clear and coherent, even if what he was saying was not based in reality at all. He wasn't sending paragraphs, just sentences in really quick succession, which was blowing my phone up. He told me he didn't want to meet up with me to talk because I had ripped out his heart and crushed it in public. I
Right.
did ask him for specific instances he could recall between us that made him think we were dating, but he completely ignored the question and just kept going on and on about how hurt he was that I was breaking up with him and how he felt his world was ending. He said he loved me more than anything and had felt so confident that I did too, which is why he felt so certain about proposing to move our relationship along. Eventually, to be honest, I grew pretty tired of this conversation and stopped responding
Right.
because it was just going around and around in circles. Me asking where he got this idea, him ignoring this and telling me how hurt he is, I'm breaking up with him over this, etc. He went on and on saying he thought it would be a ring I like because it was my favorite gem, a ruby, instead of a diamond. It's got me wondering how much he actually spent on this damn thing. I didn't look very clearly at the ring, so I couldn't tell if it was something super expensive or not. He had been working up the courage to do so for a while and figured doing it when I was at home would make it more special. For a while, he was just talking to himself in my text because I wasn't responding anymore. When I checked back about 20 minutes later, I had something like 60 messages from him.
Oh,
Granted,
Lord.
they were all single sentences. At the very end, he apologized and told me that it didn't matter anyway because I wouldn't see him around anymore. Obviously, I was concerned, so I asked for clarification. He said that he was going to drop out of university and go back home because he couldn't deal with the shame.
What the fuck?
That's where our conversation ended. I didn't really know how to respond to that. As it stands now, I don't really know where Jordan is. I didn't ask him, which is my bad. I'm not sure if/when we will talk again. Unfortunately, I can't excite everyone with and then he turned up at my door, and then he sent me flowers or whatever. It feels a lot is unanswered. I still don't know where he got the idea we were together. He hasn't explained that. So I'm sorry I can't give everyone that answer.
Oof.
Well, she lucked out that he left. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Like if you're,
Oh,
you're
what
with
the
someone
fuck?
who's that like delusional, then like you
Ooh.
don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So good thing he didn't show up.
God, it is so frustrating how he refused to take any accountability for everything he was saying, everything that he did, refused to answer to anything and make it all her fault. Like, literally about leaving school, refusing to answer her questions, just abandoning all responsibility and accountability. Like, hey, you're here too. You participated in this friendship too.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I will never understand the type of mindset or the place that someone can be where they message someone like that many times or call
Yeah.
someone over and over again. Because I hear about it all the time.
Right.
Like so often that it's not an outlier, right? Of people being like,
Mhm.
yeah, my ex called me like 10 times today. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
I can't fathom being in the place because you know people see one phone call. You know, people
Bro,
see
living in
one
delusion?
text.
Yes. I'm so
Yeah, like,
confused.
that's okay. A couple.
Sure.
You're really trying to talk to
Sure,
somebody,
but I just mean like in this type of situation where they are talking
Like
and then she
60
starts ignoring
times.
him. Like, what do you? I just want to know from someone who maybe was in that place and now they're out of it, what was going through their head?
Right.
Maybe just
Delusion.
thought
It's
A
going on.
probably that.
dream.
It's
But
just
that's
going.
pure,
that's a clear sign, like,
pure
because
rage.
when someone's sending like a long text, it's a little bit more likely that they're thinking more about what they're saying as a whole. But when they're
Yeah.
rattling off sentence by sentence,
They're
they
not.
are not thinking at all. They're just
going.
putting it all out there on you, and like this person continuing to basically talk to themselves in her text without her replying. Like, this is concerning behavior. Like, I
Mental
do wonder if
illness?
like maybe there was a lot more going on internally than.
This seems very serious. Like
Yeah.
this actually seems, and the fact that he's going to drop out of college and
Yeah.
move because of this,
Oof.
it's like this sounds like
This is a bigger problem for
yeah,
this man.
it's concerning. I think it's
Yeah.
concerning behavior.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Communication, like
fuck?
misunderstandings happen all the time where people think that feelings are there when
Right.
they're not, and people are trying to be respectful in terms of affection and things. But like, if that happens, it's like so important to learn from it. And like, this is obviously the most extreme version of that. But like, to refuse to even, like, it didn't matter if she was texting him back or not. He was still going to be saying all the things he was saying and not answer her or even hear what she's saying at all.
Do you think the caricature artist drew her responding to the proposal? Like her being like
him drawing so fast. I just picture it so fast. She's like, eek! like,
oh man, wow.
that
Yeah, that's
sucks.
crazy.
And it sucks because like they were, to her knowledge, she thought she had a really good friend. Like she
Right.
thought because like that's what I love about Smosh is like we really show and normalize platonic friendships across all genders because I think it's super important to see for people to experience, and like she thought that's what she had and it was completely a lie. Like that really
Yeah.
sucks.
Okay, our next
They
story
need to. It's
from Am I
weird.
the Asshole? Am I the asshole for explaining my pizza to joy ratio to a friend who is trying to justify buying a vintage car? Pizza to joy ratio.
I'm gonna need more information.
Wait, repeat that. What? Am I myself explaining my pizza to joy ratio to a friend who was just trying to justify buying a vintage? Huh? Huh? Credit booster?
My pizza to joy ratio to a friend who is trying to justify
You got a
buying
mud drops
vintage
chance.
car. Pizza to joy ratio.
I'm gonna need more information.
What is a pizza?
Odd name, but I'll explain. A few years ago, I came up with a simple math formula I use whenever I'm going to make a dumb purchase. When you come home from work, making a filling meal from scratch will, on average, take about an hour. A takeout pizza costs around $20. So having that pizza instead of cooking and getting to relax instead means an hour of enjoyment costs you about $20. So before I buy anything, I sit down and think if I'm going to get a number of hours of joy equal
Is
to the
this
price
bugged? What's happening?
out of this item. This is only for non-necessity purchases, obviously, because applying it to hot dogs or something would create a number of serious questions I don't want answers to. Here's the argument I got pulled into and asked for my opinion. My friend has been arguing with his wife about buying a vintage car, and he kept talking about how happy it will make him. They can, in fact, afford it, and I did seriously say that if he thought he would get that number of hours out of it, he should go for it. I actually think with how hard he works, he deserves it, and said that part out loud. He tried to call me out as being a hypocrite because about a year ago, I spent about $1,200 on a Ghostbusters costume, proton pack, boots, and all. I had to point out to him that I, in fact, throw that costume on frequently for a couple of hours at a time. It brings me great joy when I do, and that proton pack is hanging across from my bed so I can look at it before I fall asleep. It was something I've wanted for nearly 40 years, and I'm not going to stop getting joy from it, even if I'm over the $20 an hour limit. But his wife now uses the pizza to joy ratio for everything, and she says it has helped her cut down on spending money on things she might only use once, or just things she thinks are neat, like anime figurines or video games she's just going to let sit in her Steam library and probably never play. My friend has called me an asshole since now whenever he's looking at getting something, she'll ask, how many pizzas is that? I honestly think she's taking it too far, but she said it's life-changing for her. I kind of think I'm the asshole because it's just supposed to be something like offhand advice for silly things, like a banana costume, not applied to things like a washer/dryer upgrade.
Whoa.
Okay. So he's getting blamed for the fact that this relationship has a very different view of finances, I feel like.
Yeah, it sounds like they took his idea and ran with it, or at least one of the people.
It was just
that did.
inspiring to her,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he's mad at his wife for wanting to spend less.
Yeah, and he called him a hypocrite for saying you
Well,
deserve the car.
Yeah, because what's crazy is, at the very least, OP is not the asshole. Because
Ooh.
OP was like, oh,
Oh.
yeah, spend it on whatever.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
allowed to
I
do
guess.
whatever you want.
Yeah.
He's not telling anyone to do anything.
Yeah, that's must have been like a point of resentment from this friend for a while for it to come up now.
Is OP sitting around in this costume?
Yeah, I need to know this 2 hours at a time.
The most important thing
That's
is
what
it's
I'm
like,
hooked on right now.
every now and then I wear this costume for hours
like-
at a time. Just,
Just one mirror, it's like broken.
He's like,
it's a dark
I'm so
room.
full of joy.
I love this. Hey, maybe
Maybe. Allow him to do whatever you
you're allowed
want.
to do whatever you want, man.
Maybe he's wearing it in like he's in like a play or like a musical or like a drag show or a costume party or like maybe he wears it to Ren Fair every
You listing
year.
every opportunity a costume would come up?
Yeah,
He
'cause, like,
dresses as a Ghostbuster for Ren Fair.
I did spend okay. I only bring it up.
They're all
'cause
ghosts.
I've seen stormtroopers walking around Ren
Oh,
Fair.
that's
That's true. That's
like,
true.
and
You'll see everything.
I spent way too much money on like a pirate costume at Ren Fair, and I'm like, maybe I'll just wear this to every.
Wait,
costume
where is the
party
fucking
and
exit?
Get my worth out of it. Haven't done that,
I'm
but
not
I've thought
dissing
about
this
it.
guy. I
Yeah,
just
I
think it's
know.
such a specific. It's not a pirate costume, which you could wear. It's not. This
True.
is a singular.
From
anyway,
one franchise.
It was just a
No, you're
funny.
right.
It was a funny example he then
Yes.
gave in it. It's like this brings up more
It's like,
questions.
I wear it
Excuse
for
me?
hours and hours and hours. I'm very joyful.
It's definitely like this is a big kind of conversation for a lot of people of like what is worth buying and investing in that's fun, because there's obviously buying things that it's like, oh, there'll be a return
that,
on this, or
yeah.
this is practical, but there's like full-on luxuries
I
are
did.
theoretically a waste of money in every way besides the enjoyment they give you.
Right.
You're trying to measure what that enjoyment's going to be. So I get that everyone's different with that.
Yeah, everyone's kind of figuring out what they like, trying to give themselves permission to splurge on themselves. Like some people like have it really hard. Like you like tend to live really frugally and be like, I won't get this book. I won't. Okay. Like even though like I know you want it. Like there's things like that where maybe this gave the wife permission. Like
Oh.
now I can give myself permission to
Bo.
buy all these things because now I can see how it equates to joy for me. But it's like it's really up to that marriage and that relationship to figure out, okay, how are we operating with our finances together?
Right.
But
yeah, it's tough. A vintage car is a tough one but he might really like.
Wait, I
vintage cars,
don't
and
have that
that's something you
bow
can invest in
anymore?
for a long time, like on a joy level. I have my own rule. Like I have my
Oh,
own system.
oh no, it's right there.
Is because I'm someone who can get very like inspired for a bit on something. I'll be like, oh man, I really love this thing. And then like 30 days pass and I kind of like lose interest. So whenever I get into something, I'm like, I'm going to buy like the cheap version of this.
Right.
And then once I commit to it long enough,
Right.
then I'll buy, like if I'm like, oh, I'm really into drawing, I want to draw. I'm gonna buy a cheap set of pencils,
Right.
cheap little thing, and then once after like, if I go 50 days to 100 days and I'm really doing it a lot, I'm like, all right, now I can buy like some nicer things.
You're
Hi.
auditioning the hobby.
Long
with your
time no
success.
That's kind of
see.
my mindset, and that goes with like kind of everything.
I'm happy
like,
to see ya.
when I recognize at a certain point in my life of like, oh, I really do like to sit down in front of my TV a lot. And I had a really small TV that I'd gotten for free for a long time, and it hit a point where I was like, all right, I'll buy a TV. Like
Right.
I spend a lot of time here. I recognize that. But if this guy loves cars and he spends a lot of time there and he has the money,
yeah,
then that's okay.
Yeah.
I love a vintage car.
But this sounds like a struggle in the relationship.
Yeah, this is
Oh.
not OP's.
OP
like,
is
not
OP is
involved.
in a
I'm
different world.
doing
it's
You
a
said
non-issue.
something that got picked up. That's not your fault.
sortie.
She would have probably heard something similar somewhere else.
Yeah, it's like if you hang bananas,
I'm
up,
at
they don't
phase
rot as
2.
much, and then like she's like, I put all the bananas on every hook. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck you for saying that. No.
But after, I'm most likely gonna do some like still pad expedition, and then I'm gonna go check the Duviri circuit, just so you know. But now I don't know. If you're at defense, if you're at stage 2, then sure.
Oh,
All right.
No.
Yeah, it has
No.
nothing to do with him.
Comments. I need 750
All right.
hours to justify my vehicle. That's 1,500 work
Welcome
days.
back to
I work
Warframe.
around 250 days per year, so I need to get 6 years out of my vehicle minus whatever I spend on maintenance. Good ratio. Someone's OP responded, and honestly, I think he's going to get an immense amount of joy
Good.
out of it. I'm just not a car guy, so I don't
Honestly,
understand how that feels. So I offered my ratio as an example of how I spend money.
I've been
Oh,
chilling,
and he is getting the car
streaming.
because he has wanted one since he was young, and his wife did agree she thought he would get that joy out of it. Okay, so there's
what's
no
the problem?
It's resentment. There's
So what's
resentment from
going
a
on
long
here?
Time ago,
That
that's
really
just
is
being brought up.
That really is a good ratio, though. Someone said, not the asshole. I like your formula, and I think that it makes sense. If somebody misuses it, it's their problem, not yours. Lastly, someone said, gotta say not the asshole on this one. You told him he should go for it and gave them a silly way to
Am
determine
I
how much
bugged?
joy it'll bring someone. I also agree they're taking it too far, and it should be exclusively recreational, but everyone has their niche. Also, did you
All
make
right.
that up or find it somewhere? I swear I heard it somewhere else.
Oh.
They didn't respond.
Oh.
Oh.
I feel like I've heard similar things to it. I think it's just like responsibly thinking about your purchases. Like,
Yeah.
it's just a more conscious way, and he equated it to like a cute little pizza thing ratio. But
Definitely not the asshole, because we got a ghost problem.
yeah,
And
clearly.
he's here
We
to
need
solve
help.
Defend the target. Wait, where? Oh, that's the
Update.
target.
Whoa.
He
Love
got the
update.
slimy guy.
He captured
He sucked
the
him
slime
in.
Caught a ghost.
He caught the ghost.
Caught the green ghost. I had caused a bit of strife with my friend after giving them some very basic silly math I do before I buy anything that is not a necessity. His wife then began applying it to absolutely everything, and while she wasn't exactly manic about it, she was definitely taking it too far. My friend asked me to sit down with him and talk to his wife with him because I've been friends with them for 10 years or so, and he wanted me to explain things a bit better since I have trouble with words from time to time. Well, here's the deal. She's pregnant, which I guess I found out when he did. She's very nervous about finances since she grew up like he and I did, poor as dirt, but didn't want to tell anyone since it's still in the first 2 months and
Oh.
she's worried about things like a miscarriage.
Oh.
The long and
Fair
short
enough.
of it is she was getting stressed by the idea of being out of work for months after giving birth and was worried that if he bought the car, it would eat into his savings, which they would be heavily reliant on for a bit. Instead of going, you should have told me, my friend and I got on the same page and he said, I'm very sorry for making you worry about that. I can always buy the car later on when we know it's okay to do it. For now, you take priority. I told her, I'm very sorry I put a brain worm in you that played into your fears while also doing something that exacerbated your anxiety. Pizza math goes directly out the window when a baby is involved. Instead of trying to reinforce that she took it too seriously, since I really didn't feel like trying to defend myself was going to do anything but make her feel more anxious. So I ordered us all Chinese, and we sat down and talked about what their finances look like. And even though right now they can afford a baby and the car without issue, they're both high earners. He agreed to wait 5 years and buy it as his midlife crisis car. That's about all. She's feeling way better. We had a small celebration since she's still nervous about getting too excited about it. And I also apologize for putting her in a position where she had to admit before she was ready. All in all, everyone is in a better place, I think.
That story
They
is
ordered Chinese,
dumb.
not a pizza.
Adults.
Whoa, they ordered Chinese and not a pizza.
Wow.
Whoa.
More joy.
Yeah.
Cycle was broken that day.
That was great.
Nagato.
I loved the being like, hey,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
sorry that you got worked up. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and the Ghostbusters costume when? Will we get a pic?
And then a ghost comes out. He says, ah!
Ah!
Okay, next story. This comes from Relationship Advice. It's a 26-year-old woman. My husband, who's 26, my husband's family keeps referring to me as his best friend. What does this mean?
You know what it means. Go on.
You know, anyways,
think
next
it's-
story.
I think it's pretty clear.
My husband, Robbie, who's 26, and I got married earlier this year. It was a beautiful day, and I felt so much love and support from both sides of our family.
Oh,
2 months after...
didn't expect that.
2 months after our wedding day, we celebrated my birthday at my in-laws' house. It was nothing major, just a dinner and a night together with me, my husband, his mom, who's 50, dad, 50, and sister, who's 22. That was the first night I noticed them referring to me as Robbie's best friend. After my birthday dinner, we were all sitting together in the living room, just chatting and having some drinks. That's when my sister-in-law got a phone call from a good friend of hers. When she answered the phone and her friend asked what she was doing, she replied that it was her brother's best friend's birthday.
Thank you
I had never heard
for
anyone refer
the
to me as
follow.
Robbie's
I'm Keen
best friend.
Frequency.
I am his wife, and before that, we were engaged for over 2 years. Hearing my sister-in-law refer to me like that confused me greatly. I always refer to her as my sister-in-law, and I would expect her to do the same, or maybe even as Robbie's wife, but certainly not best friend. After my sister-in-law hung up her phone, I asked her why she referred to me the way she did. She did not seem at all abashed. She just said, well, you are best friends, and that's what mom and dad call you, referring to my mother-in-law and father-in-law. My sister-in-law and I are by no means very close, but we are nice to each other and have never had any fights. We just don't hang out outside of family functions because our personalities are pretty different. She never made it seem like she was annoyed or mad at me.
I love listening to drama too. À boire. I am Keen Frequency. Yes, I shall drink. There you go. A drink.
I decided to let it go that night, even though it weirded me out. But then it all happened again a few days ago, which is why I'm writing this post. My mother-in-law and I both work in the same industry doing similar jobs, but at different companies in the area. Sometimes our companies collaborate when we have clients who switch over. This week we had that happen, and I had to pay a visit to my mother-in-law's office to help a client transition. My mother-in-law was in the office, so I stopped by to say hello. While I was there, she introduced me to her colleague, and once again, I was perplexed by how she did it. She said, "This is my son's best friend." As I was shaking hands with the colleague, I paused and awkwardly said, "I'm his wife." The colleague looked confused, but my mother-in-law continued to smile and didn't address it.
Maybe
Once we were
that's
alone,
what
I
they
asked my
call each
mother-in-law
other
why she referred to me like
spouses.
that. Just like my sister-in-law, she didn't seem to act like it was weird at all and said the same thing. Well, you are best friends. The only thing that I can think to explain this is that in my vows to Robbie, I promised to continue being his best friend. Nobody acted like that was odd or special, and I feel like it's a pretty common thing to put in vows. So I'm not sure why Robbie's family seems to have clung to it. Unless it has nothing to do with everything. I've spoken to Robbie about this too, and he is also perplexed by it. He asked his parents privately about it, and they gave him the same answer they've been giving me. It all just feels like some sort of bullying behavior to me, but I've never felt a sense of this from them before. Are they calling me his best friend because they don't like the fact I'm his wife, or is it some inside joke they've been on without me? I'm not sure what to do or to make of it, especially because the in-laws are acting like it's not an issue when I bring it up. Yes, I am Robbie's best friend, but I'm also his life partner and their daughter-in-law / sister-in-law. I don't know what to do. Any input and advice would be welcome.
Yeah, tell them to stop if
I
it makes
thought
you
this was a gay
uncomfortable.
couple at
Me
first.
too.
Because I was like, oh, if they're like, this is best friend, I was like, well, they're a little homophobic. They don't want to, but then it's like, oh, they're at the wedding. I'm like, oh. And it's like, I'm his wife.
It
I
is
was
in
like,
French.
Yeah.
what? Then what?
Yeah. That's so confusing.
You're
And
welcome.
their responses, and they don't even seem like bothered. They're not
Oh.
giving like reactions.
Like, I can see this being a sweet thing within the family of like, oh, that's so sweet that they consider each other best friends. So like, it's fun to like consider them that to each other. But like having it like go anywhere outside the sphere of family and like introducing them as such is like really weird.
They
It
were
is
at the
very
wedding.
weird.
She said it all
Everything else
has
is normal.
seemed fine. I wonder how they referred to her before they got married.
Not best friend.
Not fiance, I
Yeah.
guess.
You are not my
You are
friend.
no, my friend. But it seems like she's not saying, oh, they've always done this. Like, so was she Robbie's girlfriend before? Robbie's fiance? Like,
Ooh,
she
we took a
doesn't
little
put
bit of
that- she doesn't
damage.
put that in, but she's saying that currently it's
That's
Robbie's
so
best friend.
Weird.
I'm trying to like literally understand like, oh, maybe they're not trying to like
We have 3 more
reduce her
waves.
to
Oh
a
my
wife
god.
role, but it's like I don't know. There's something about like ever since we've gotten legally married, like certain things just get taken more seriously when I'm like, my husband is picking my prescription up. But like, if I were to say like my best friend is coming to get something, or like it's just
Yeah.
not.
Right.
There's just some more like. Also, when it's a mother-in-law introducing to a coworker and stuff, like this is my son's best friend. That's not giving the coworker any context
Right.
at all.
It definitely feels like a respect thing.
It's a huge lack of context.
It's
like,
very weird.
that's a big
Yeah.
difference
Those
to
are completely
anybody
different.
outside of the context.
Yeah, because when you're introducing someone to a complete stranger, that context is kind of important. It's
Yeah.
kind of like, oh,
Right? I'm
here's our
keen.
dynamic.
I
It's
know.
not just because son's best friend could be like, oh, you don't know this
Some
person.
guy.
This person
Right.
doesn't mean anything to you.
Right.
No, this is my son's wife. It's like, oh, that's your family.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's a huge
that's
thing.
literally that part.
And there's different contexts that can always be there, right? But it's just odd. It's odd.
It feels like a step back. Yeah, no, and it is like because being considered family.
That
is
cool, we're
very
supposed to
different
be
than just being
friends
a
in
family
Warframe.
friend, you know.
I wonder
How
if
dare
the
you?
company stuff has anything to do with it.
But the sister, they were at dinner, and the sister was saying.
And you did it at my birthday dinner.
Yeah, I would understand if it's like, oh, she's worried about.
I understood that
misread
reference.
or something, but she's also not getting upset. None of them are getting upset when she corrects them. They're just going, oh,
Like,
no, you are best friends.
Yeah.
So
You
weird.
are best friends.
Maybe it's some
It's so
dumb
how-
family
Because
bullying.
you are.
Comments. How about just being straightforward? Yes, Robbie and I are best friends, but now that we are married, I would prefer that you refer to me as his wife, as
And
I
if you
treasure our
don't, I'm going to see
relationship.
this as a
Thank
sign
you.
of disrespect.
Someone else said, this
Thanks.
seems passive aggressive. Have your husband shut it down.
Yeah.
Someone else said,
Yes,
I
I'm
would
keen.
just continue to correct
Very
him
often.
every time it happens, and I would also expect my husband to do the same at the time it is happening, not in private or later. If he does not correct his parents or sister, you have a bigger issue.
Come on, give us a comment for our in-game name. I shall set that up eventually.
Yeah, I don't think it should be on her.
Wait,
No.
wait. But on Twitch, my in-game name is already there. Like I put like there's like an extension on my Twitch where you can actually see not only my in-game name but also my Warframe setup. I guess it must depend on like where you watch me from, but I'm just saying. I feel like Buddy shouldn't let his parents and or siblings dictate his relationship at all. This is a weird story because I just know that I would be like, okay, y'all, it's funny, ha ha ha, but stop. And if you don't, then I'm gonna see this as a sign of disrespect, and I'm just gonna like resent you. Where's the butt? I did not turn it off. I can literally see it. Wait, can I? Wait a minute. Give me a sec. Yeah, no, it's still there. Like it's like I can click on it and it's gonna. I see like view load out. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know because I know I can see it, and I know like it doesn't seem to not be working. All right, I'm keen.
The husband should be like, hey, can you please refer to her as my wife?
Yeah, or like I love that because it's like that's his direct family. But also like if it happens in front of her again, she'd be like, "Oh, you could just call me his wife." Like it's very sweet, but like you could just call me like a wife. Like that's fine.
Yeah.
And then you set that boundary in a friendly, casual way. It shouldn't affect anything unless they have a problem with it.
The most optimistic thought I have is
I already have Deku
someone
Prime
could be
Wolf.
like, oh, it's really endearing and sweet. Like being best friends is more important than whatever. But I have a hard time believing that.
All right. I'll try to remember
Update.
that. Keen. Oh, an update.
Slimer.
I love updates.
Slimer.
We might need to get the Ghostbusters costume on because unfortunately for my relationship with Robbie's family, shit has hit the fan.
So they didn't like you.
Slimer's hit the fan.
Oh, no.
Gross.
Get your paper towels out.
Okay. Yesterday afternoon, Robbie and I were invited over to his parents' house for dinner. I have a big project due this week at work, so I needed to stay home and wrap it up.
Oh, what the fuck?
I told Robbie to go catch up with his family while I ordered a pizza. Apparently, this is when Robbie decided he was going to set things straight and figure out why his mom and sister keep referring to me as his best friend. Please keep in mind that I'm telling this story based on the details that my husband has given me. Robbie had a normal dinner with his folks, but they were all drinking a bit more than usual. Robbie decided to bring over some scotch that one of his groomsmen gave him for a wedding gift, so he and his dad were especially loose. Robbie and his dad tend to have guy time together after dinners where they hang out in his dad's garage and talk about car stuff and projects at home/work. This is where Robbie confronted his dad about the whole situation. From what I can tell, it took some coaxing to get this information out of father-in-law, but eventually he admitted to Robbie that my mother-in-law.
Wait a minute, I don't have the right weapon. I forgot to change my
some
bow.
sort of bet as to how long mine and Robbie's marriage was going to last. Father-in-law bet that we would stay together, whereas mother-in-law bet less than 1 year, and sister-in-law bet less than 6 months. Apparently there was a cash prize
Wow.
involved. I don't really want to know how much it was. Father-in-law admitted that he believes the whole best friend moniker was a way to get under my skin and cause doubts about my relationship with Robbie and his family. They think that if they acted like it was a non-issue for long enough, that it would drive me crazy and start making me angry at Robbie for not intervening. Robbie then says he stormed into the house to confront his mom about this all. It ended in a screaming match between Robbie, mother-in-law, and father-in-law. Robbie eventually stormed out and walked to a nearby gas station, and from there he called me for a ride since he couldn't drive. This morning when I drove Robbie back to get his car, we had a horribly awkward confrontation with his parents. Mother-in-law is apparently pissed at father-in-law for betraying the secret, and they were fighting about it all night. Father-in-law will be staying with us in our extra bedroom for a couple days, or until they can calm down and
Can
talk
they
to
get
each
their
other
shit
again.
together?
Robbie is now set on going no contact with his mom and sister. He is angry with his father, but is more willing to forgive him. Personally, I would prefer if we saw a family therapist before doing this, but we are still ironing out the details. Hopefully we can get through this with both marriages intact. But if the father-in-law and mother-in-law break up, she's gonna get some cash. It's her
Wait.
bet.
Oh.
They just solidified their marriage forever, actually.
Yeah, I think so.
By like having like a, oh, let's see how long you last. They're like, actually, we're in love forever.
And 20 years from then, the mother-in-law and father-in-law will be like, we did it for you.
That's
Passed the test.
crazy.
It was all
For the
a
mother-in-law to
test.
be mad that they got caught in their horrible. That is
That's
horrible.
horrible.
It's one
For
thing
your own
to.
kid?
It is one thing in a safe space to talk about things.
Where
Talk
is
about
that damn
whatever you
thing?
want in your safe space, but to put money on it and then to start affecting people outwardly is so messed up.
It's unethical
Where
in
is-
general. It's
all
a
of
shitty
it
move,
is.
but it's also unethical on a gambling level. Because if you're going to gamble
Okay.
on something,
It's just
you're
mean.
not allowed to then go and affect it and try
Right.
to
That's
weigh the
illegal.
odds.
That's so messed
So
up.
that's also an added layer.
Yeah.
But it's obviously super messed up too.
It's so
make that kind of
dehumanizing.
especially for your own child.
That's, yeah.
Oh my
that's what I'm
God.
saying.
Yeah, like-
Damn, what
The
kind of a parent
the
are
only
you?
situation where betting on a relationship I think is not horrible is if you're watching reality TV.
Yeah.
And it's someone
Facts.
you literally don't know. They're out
You'll
of
never
your
meet.
entire universe. And even then it's still like weird. But
Yeah.
this
I
is
do that when I watch
insane
Love
to
is
do it for
Blind.
your own child.
It's just like how negatively do they view OP to just play with their relationship like this? They either think she's a monster or
disrespectful.
they've never respected the husband. What's his name? Robbie?
Yeah,
Maybe
they
that-
don't they have no respect for anyone.
No.
Let's be clear.
That's so
And
sad.
it
Can't do that.
It is really sad.
Yeah.
It's deeply sad. The mom was only upset that the secret got revealed
right.
and was willing to kick the father-in-law out because of that.
Hope that entire relationship and family dynamic was worth whatever money you bet on this marriage because you just threw a lot away.
Also, what family is placing a bet amongst
Wait.
themselves?
It's really disgusting.
It's very disgusting.
Just about other people's well-being and happiness and betting against it, like it's just you're putting really bad energy and bad vibes out there. Ick. So it's that Slimer behavior.
That is Slimer
That's
behavior. We
big
need to get the
Slimer.
Ghostbusters costumes on.
Do you want to know a really quick weird story since you said slime hit the fan?
Yes.
So like before
Restream bot, my boy. What do you mean restream bot? Yo, Daku, you miss a lot of shit. And yes, you can still farm for it. Keen, alright, good. I'm gonna look in my friend list. All I can say, Nagato, yes, 100%. This family is very toxic. Sounds like the parent and sibling don't have the best relationship, especially. It's just it's a very weird family dynamic. Like it's just, yeah, no, that's it's weird. Cause like if you're really gonna do a bet like this, the least you could do is to not disrespect the person. You know, like the point is to not let the person know. So why would they just play in their face? Like, it's just dumb. It's very mean. Extremely toxic. Yo, if you got the platinum Deku, go ahead.
Before slime was a really big thing, like there was still a little bit of slime, and Disneyland had sold like a little bit of slime, and I had a little slime, and my sister threw it was my slime, and my sister threw my slime at the ceiling fan when I wasn't home, and it went all over, and she never cleaned it up, and it was stuck to the carpet for years. And I found out by finding slime on the floor that so slime hit the fan.
Whoa.
I'm really sorry to hear that.
Back when they only had a little bit of slime.
When
There was only a little bit of slime.
It was 2004, 2005 slime era. You know, if you know, you know.
Yeah, slime was around, but it wasn't
Very around.
it wasn't slime era yet.
But yeah, she threw my slime at the ceiling fan and it exploded. So now I know what happens when slime hits the fan. So
Ew.
that's just the image that I got in my head when he said it. Okay.
No, yeah. Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed my story just then. If you want more, there's 2 videos right there and there.
Comment down below about Courtney's slime story. That one's really sad.
That's
It's
so
hard.
sad.
That's a bummer.
I've never done that.
No, that's horrible to do. I also think
It
that
is.
stuff always comes to light.
Oh, yeah.
When people try to be like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna have it be our little secret, I'm like, someone's gonna find out.
For sure.
Deku, if you want to come,
or
I'm
if you're
gonna
trying
do the
keep a secret like
Ayatan
that,
treasure
you
hunt.
can never drink again.
Right.
You can never drink again. Like
True.
it's gonna come out. I do think though, Tommy, you're right. I think it seems like this is going to bring them together. That's the only silver lining we got here.
It said a lot about the partner and how he did go to his family and go to bat for her. And not only was he like, they're being shitty, he wants to go no contact. Like this person stands on business.
They
and
were
I really
playing
like
Game
that.
of Thrones over there.
Yeah, they were fucking stunning.
Yeah.
What's the fucking family? Baratheons?
Lannistering.
They were big time Lannister behavior.
Okay, our next story. Would I be the
No, it's not. Nagato. I do it with people all the time. Because most of the time I can't fucking do it by myself. So I always end up doing it with someone who actually know how to do it. Yeah. It's not a solo shit. Gonna show you that. Yeah.
the asshole if I deleted my friend's engagement pictures?
Yes.
So I will be honest, I've read this story before.
Why would you delete your friend's engagement picture?
Okay.
I got married last fall. Where I live, fall means the trees are changing colors, so the wedding pictures are to die for. We didn't have a huge budget, so a friend of mine asked her friend if she could do it for me. I had seen some of her work, and she is really talented. Plus, she is a total sweetheart. The only thing is, for what she charges, and since it's more of a hobby, you'll get your pictures when you'll get them. Well, I got them, and now I need to know if what I'm about to do falls in asshole territory. A few days after my wedding, my friend announced to me that she was engaged. I was ecstatic and wanted to know everything. Turns out, she got engaged at my wedding. My brain gets out of its vegetative state, and I remember her table being way too excited at some point, but I blamed the alcohol. I wasn't thrilled about it, realizing then that she had basically not only gotten engaged at my wedding, but instead of hiding it and announcing it later, she announced it to our friends during the party. It was a tough pill to swallow, but I figured whatever, it's not like I even realized what was happening. We did have a discussion about it, and she didn't seem to understand why I was upset.
Oh my god, I hate people. Isn't that like rule 101? You don't fucking get engaged at other people's wedding? What is wrong with people? What about etiquette? Ah. You were?
Until I put it
To me,
into perspective
Nagato?
for her, asked
I
her
mean,
how she
sure,
would feel
I'll
if
take
I
it.
made a big announcement at her wedding,
I need
taking
endo.
the attention away from her big moment. In my friend's mind, it's no longer the day I got married, it's now also the day she got engaged.
Ah, fuck that.
Exactly.
On my dime. We
Ah!
eventually turned the page,
Nah, that's
and
crazy.
I thought it was over. Well, I've sort of been friends with my photographer since the wedding because of common interests. At some point, she point blank told me that now that we are closer, she feels comfortable asking me what to do with my friend's pictures because it makes her really uncomfortable. During the evening, the wedding party took a break to go change, and during that time, my photographer was taking pictures of foliage at the venue. My friend apparently asked her to take pictures of her and her boyfriend.
Oh my
She didn't really see
god.
a problem since we weren't back yet and they were guests. That's until she realized they were engagement pictures. Some poses just don't leave room for interpretation. So when she asked me what to do, that, accidents happen, I told her to just put them in a separate folder. Ever since, I've been thinking, what am I going to do with that folder? My friend has been asking about
Fuck
my
these
wedding pictures
photos.
periodically, but hasn't asked about her pictures specifically. It was easy when I didn't have them, but now I do. I've had them since April, and I know she will eventually come out of hiding now that COVID restrictions are loosened. I want to delete the folders since they are my property anyway, but I don't want to be a major asshole either. Before you say it, I do realize I haven't forgiven her at all like I initially thought. Yeah, I should point out this is in 2020. This is like summer of 2020.
Okay.
So, to recap, the friend got engaged at her wedding,
Awful.
announced it to a bunch of friends at the wedding, and then, after getting engaged, found the wedding photographer and asked for photos, and they got like.
Yeah, there's a lot
Disgusting.
of issues I have with that. So like, obviously, some friend dynamics are fine when
Oh,
an
Keen.
engagement happens at a wedding, but like usually there's communication
I don't know if I can
and just
invite you.
some kind of understanding there. But also, this photographer was hired for a
There.
service, and this friend is taking them away from that service to do something else that is also very expensive. Like getting engagement photos, that can be expensive. That's a whole other job. It's so tough though, also because it's one thing that
I'm a
it's
petty ass
interesting
bitch. These
as
photos
playing
are gone.
devil's advocate in my
An
mind,
accident
like if it
happened.
didn't affect the bride's day on the day, that's a good thing.
Nah.
It didn't take away from her in her own mind until she knew what had happened. But the fact that she wasn't told what happened and attention was taken from her day regardless is
Right.
interesting.
There's just like still like like a sneaky. There's like a sneakiness to it.
There
If there
is.
wasn't a sneakiness
It's
to it, it'd
disgusting.
be a different story. But
That's
like,
her
you're ripping
day.
off your friend.
Wait,
She paid
what?
for a photographer, and you used her for a service.
It's not tracking because she's trying to
Fuck,
play it
I
off
can't.
Like, oh yeah, I don't
When
see
the
anything
hell
big
did
deal
you
in it, but
leave?
she is not being fully like out in the open with her.
Right.
Yeah.
She's not saying, "Can I
So
have
it's
my
like
engagement
you
photos?"
are aware it's shitty.
Exactly.
You are aware it's shitty, and you're trying to pass it off and like have your
Real.
cake and eat it too in this
And
situation.
I can't
That's
invite anymore
real.
for some reason. Deku, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
No, yeah, you're right. Because she's asked this photographer for these engagement photos and then has not talked to the bride about them. The photographer brought it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
So very interesting.
So in my friend's mind, it's no longer the day I got married. It's now also the day she got engaged. That's such a shitty thing to say
Yep.
to someone about their wedding
Yeah.
day.
It's like, hey, the wedding day's about me, and your friend going like, well, now actually it's not. It's about you and me.
Actually,
Like,
that wasn't your wedding day. You've lost your mind. That was the day I
you're
got
sending
engaged.
3 people home.
Yeah. So there's what happened, and her friend's shitty for what she did.
Yes.
Yeah.
She now has these engagement photos, and it's like,
All right.
what do you do with them? Even the photographer was like, hey, accidents happen.
Right. I'll delete them if you want.
The friend
love
has
that.
not. The friend has not asked for the photos yet. I will say,
Come on,
after
open the
having
door.
Had like kind of wedding day photos.
Why is the door not
like,
opening?
You don't get them all back.
We have 10
You have to
seconds.
specifically get like a few samples.
Yeah.
And then you like
But-
weeks later get the dump.
So there
Huh.
would be plausible deniability that she never even got those photos because the wedding
We
photographer
failed.
I think
No,
usually
we
was
yeah,
like,
we failed.
well, these
It
are
was on
just
the other
Semi
side.
select. So
Yeah.
God
like
damn it.
semi-selects, you don't need those. Those are just two people randomly
Right.
during a time of the day. So it would have been possible for the wedding photographer to not even
Yeah.
do it, but now she has them. She has to decide what she wants to do.
I think
It's not invite only. I'm on a public server. But like I couldn't invite you anyway. Let me. But damn, Keen, are we in the same boat and we both don't know how to do these things?
she and because like again, she said that she hasn't forgiven this person. Just give her the photos and be like,
No, don't give her the photo.
now this is done. You know, like it's like
Say that you lost them.
there's not going to
They're
be a
gone.
lot of like karmic enjoyment out of deleting these photos because it kind of feels petty back, even though it
So
is
what if
her-
it's
she
petty?
has this ability to do so, but it's like she doesn't forgive this person. Like whatever, give her the photos back, and then like distance yourself, or cut ties or whatever thing you want to do.
To me, it feels like it's kind of continuing the sneaky cycle.
Exactly.
But I honestly, if I was in this person's shoes, I would have texted.
A little bit late for that,
Your
Negato.
photographer just told me that like you had asked them to go and take engagement photos. I feel like you aren't being transparent with me about how you handled this, and I actually really don't appreciate that you did this. I have these photos, and I am hesitant to give them to you because now I really feel like you are being a bad friend. And then like having because like you're either going to continue to be sneaky and not be friends anymore. That is a path to do.
Yep.
Or
Argan Crystal.
This person, just talk about
Talk about it.
Uncomfortable conversations suck.
Yeah,
but
you know, I think that sums up a lot of like my perspective, my personal individual perspective on so many situations is not. I don't want to just like get back at someone. Just to get back at them. What I want in a situation like this, if a friend did this to me, what I would want, all I would want is for them to recognize that it was wrong. And to be like, I need to change as a person. And not
do
this
better.
again.
Oh my
and
God.
If I really could come to a place where I believed that and they were upfront and honest, I'd then be like, all right,
it's fine.
I would personally be like, all right, here's the photos, but I want you to know you hurt me. I want you to know this sucks. And I want you to know if you show this type of behavior ever again, like
wait, Deku is already doing it?
And unless I look back and realize in that friendship that that pattern's been going back further, where I go, okay, no, you've shown this, but if this is a one-time deal, now that's me personally. I think if I heard about this story from anyone, it's something where any of the options they choose, I'd be like, okay, and that's what you did. Like I wouldn't judge someone. I mean, I don't know how I would feel. It depends on the individual situations. If someone was like, and I deleted the photos, I'd be like, oh, damn.
Like,
where is it?
Okay.
But, or if they were like, and I gave her the photos.
Wait, where is the statue?
What happened, I'd be like,
did we get it?
That's really like, that's like the highest high road is giving her the photos. And then
but there's also protecting yourself from someone who is going to take advantage of you.
And saying like, hey, this hurt.
I didn't get it. What the fuck?
Was like worth it to you.
Yo, Deku. It's like you went too fast. Way too fast. Because I didn't get the statue. So I'm gonna have to do it again. Damn. I don't see it. Am I gonna see it after the mission is over? Because I don't understand why it's not in my it's not. Wait, where the fuck? Oops. Am I stuck? What the fuck? What's happening? Oh, there you go. Anyway.
The question I am always left with, because this happens so much, is I'm like, I don't understand the perspective of wanting to propose
at somebody's wedding.
Do you think the friend knew her partner was going to propose to her? Like maybe that part was out of her control, and then she just kind of wanted to ride the wave. You know, the friend.
What?
Like this friend got proposed to at the wedding, right? Maybe she didn't know he was gonna do it that day,
and she's like, "Oh shit, I'm getting proposed to."
Oh, she's like, "Yeah, I'm proposed to. Oh my god, this is so great. Like, don't want to take away from the wedding day, but like, let's still ride this wave and still like have our own joy here." And then
okay,
kinda, like,
it's there. Good.
Damage control later.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like the guy, whoever proposed to her. I just don't understand wanting to propose at a wedding.
Right, because
I've never understood it.
You don't do that. It's disrespectful.
Away from your day.
I know. It's like
the story is you were at someone else's wedding. It's not
exactly.
There's no story to it.
It's just always confused me, and I think it's hard for me to think about the whole situation because I'm always just so confused by that.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Comments, not the asshole. She not only got engaged at your wedding, but also got the photographer you paid for wedding photos, not cheap, to do their photos. Yikes. I wouldn't blame you for just deleting those photos. You could get her to pay the photographer for those specific photos,
She
but not the
should.
asshole either way, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There's another option is being like, hey, the photographer recognized like those. I told the photographer that you guys just got engaged and those are technically engagement photos. She charges a lot for that. Like,
Pay
you
her.
might need to ask.
Yeah.
Pay up,
for
bitch.
that. Not the asshole. She gets engaged and takes attention away from the newlyweds. She then has a full engagement shoot on your dime. Delete them and tell her that you've deleted pictures that had nothing to do with you and your husband.
Period.
Lastly, someone said, more and more I've been hearing of people getting engaged at others' weddings. It just reassures me that I would not want that shit at mine. The thought of it just pisses me off. Anyways, not the asshole.
Josie, am I the asshole for using my tuition money given by my mom for gambling? Yes. What the fuck? For gambling? Why? This sound is loud as hell. I need to fix that. I don't know how to fix it, but I need to fix it. I am keenly redeem drinking and straightening my back. My back is fine, but I can drink again. All right. All right.
Yeah. I mean, I think
Back to
like
your ship, people.
I would reserve the like getting engaged at weddings as like it depends on the dynamics of everybody involved. Like
Sure,
for
there's
sure.
situations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. It does. It's the sneakiness. I like
It's
that.
the sneaky.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah.
It's just ultimately disrespectful.
Very.
Final story
Oh.
No.
comes from Best of Redditor updates.
Ooh, I
so
love
just
Best of
send me
Redditor
this
update.
update.
No. It's a 24-year-old woman.
I
My
can't relate,
best
Juzu.
friend, who's 23, a 23-year-old woman, did something horrible at a mutual family friend's wedding and blamed it on my younger sister, who's 19. I am considering cutting ties with her, but am having a hard time.
Aw, my best friend did something horrible at a mutual family wedding and blamed it on my younger sister. Yikes. Yikes. Sad. Um, but imagine you propose at someone's wedding and they divorce, but you keep going strong. Yeah, that's still bad. You still don't do stuff like that. It's not, nah. You just don't. You know what I mean? Like, just don't do that. That's all. Don't do that. Just don't do it. It's very wrong. I need to do my daily steel pat incursions. So Daku and Keen, if y'all want to join, feel free to do so. You got me, Tab. All right. But yeah, I'm gonna do my daily incursion, and then I'm probably gonna spend like a good chunk of the evening doing Duviri circuit. I gotta get rest working. All right, Kinwell. It was nice to get to know you and play with you as well. Come back anytime, and you can also join my Discord. I have the sculpture. You want them now? Oh yeah. Before I go, sure, Nagato. We can do it now. You should play Warframe, Josie. It's an amazing game. Lots of things to do and an amazing community. Give me a sec, Deku. I'm just gonna go get some statue and then we can do it.
Okay.
Let's go. This is a meaty one.
Hi, Reddit. This is a bit of an unusual situation, but I'll try to explain it as best I can. The story involves myself, 24-year-old woman, my best friend Caroline, 23-year-old woman, and my younger sister Nicola, 19-year-old woman, and our
Nagato, you're
mutual
on.
friend slash groomsman Daniel, who's 28. Using real names because I know Caroline doesn't use Reddit, and if anyone who witnessed this happens to see this, I'd love for them to get the actual facts of the story.
Whoa.
So
Whoa.
over the
I have IG, but I post there like once a month. Same for TikTok. Yeah, but I do have IG. It's the same name. It's my handle is the same on every social media. Yeah, Nagato, are you gonna send me an invite? Cause I'm here. I'm available.
weekend, so over the weekend, a very good family friend of both my family and Caroline's family was getting married. Caroline and I have been best friends for years. We met when we were toddlers. Our moms are best friends. Our sisters are friends, etc. You get the picture. We knew that both of our families would be invited to this wedding, and we were both looking forward to it for months. It's important to note that Caroline's family and my family have a ton of mutual friends, and this was going to be a very large wedding. Guest count was in the 500s.
Why would you do that?
That's a carnival, not a wedding.
Carnival.
That's the Super Bowl.
Oh my God.
Everything was going fine and dandy until Caroline got completely wasted. She kept talking to me about how hot one of the groomsmen, Daniel, was and how she'd had a crush on him for years, but he showed no interest. This was probably because
Take
he
the
was in a
hint.
serious relationship and had been dating his current girlfriend for 6 years.
Sorry. Sometimes I can't help but go,
The girlfriend decided not to attend this wedding because she didn't know the bride and groom very well, and because Daniel would be a groomsman, she wouldn't see him very much anyway. Fast forward a couple hours, and Caroline is hanging all over Daniel. She's constantly asking him to dance with her, get her drinks from the open bar, etc.
Holy
She's
shit.
point blank throwing herself at him, and it was embarrassing and painful to watch.
God damn.
I tried
That's
intervening
a
a couple
lot.
times
Thank
to
you,
get her
Nagato.
off of him. But she snapped at me, and at that point, I decided that it wasn't my problem. Furthermore, Daniel wasn't completely pushing her away. He looked like he had a few drinks in
Daniel.
him as well and seemed somewhat interested in Caroline. I decided that if he didn't care, I certainly wasn't going to. If he wanted to throw his relationship away, it was none of my concern. I tried. I didn't witness this next part, but by the end of the night, Caroline and Daniel were having sex in a different room of the hall.
Oh
Yes,
my
it escalated
God.
quickly. To their misfortune, someone, I'm not sure who, just that it was someone's mom who knew Daniel and his girlfriend, but didn't
Oh
know
my God.
Caroline, walked in on them, and for some reason, Caroline told this woman that she was Nicola, my sister. I don't know if she was embarrassed or drunk or what, but she purposely identified herself as Nicola so Caroline herself would not be in trouble.
Oh
Word
my
quickly
God.
spread that Daniel and Nicola were caught having sex, and Nicola was mortified. People were talking about how disrespectful, home-wrecking, rude, slutty Nicola was. I honestly can't even blame them. Had I not known better, I would be thinking the same things. On top of that, Caroline had gone around actually telling other people that it was Nicola and confirming the rumor she started.
Oh hell
People in the
nah.
room were
Nah,
pissed.
we're fighting,
Everyone was
bitch.
talking
We are
badly about my
fighting.
sister, and Caroline seemed
Ooh.
to not care. In fact, when I
Ooh.
confronted her about the situation at the wedding, she straight up denied it. Had Daniel not confirmed that it was Caroline he was hooking up with and not Nicola, I might have even believed her. The next day, Caroline texted Nicola a half-hearted apology about the whole thing, saying she was so drunk and didn't know what she was doing. The text included lots of lols and ha-has, so I'm not sure how seriously Caroline is taking the
That
situation.
friend is
She
terrible.
doesn't seem to realize
Fuck
how
her.
mortified Nicola is. Nicola genuinely thinks that her life is ruined. We live in a very tight-knit community, and a lot of people have heard the false version of what went down. I'm at odds with what to do. Up until this point, Caroline has been a very good friend to both I and Nicola. I'm just not sure if I can forgive her for this,
You can't.
especially considering her lack of consciousness about how bad the situation really is. Should I dump her or should I give her another chance?
Dump her.
Our friendship
What
will
the
be
fuck?
different regardless. My family sees Caroline in a completely different light now. So even if I forgave her, we wouldn't be able to do a lot of the same things we used to. Hang out at my house, do things with my family, etc. What should I do, Reddit?
Oh my God. What the fuck? Oh, okay, cool. I mean, I posted my name in the chat earlier, so feel free to add me if you want to. I'm always looking for new Tenno friend. There. Yes, you can.
Reddit,
Ugh.
I need your help.
That is so messed up. Because you know what she did? She blamed it on Nicola. Nicola is 19. Mr. Daniel, whatever, is 28. That's a gap. And also, like, and throwing her into that situation and all of these people ganging up on her being a homewrecker. She's 19.
Bro, it's so hard to be under 21.
Her brain is not done developing yet. That's so
And to
unfair.
have that thrown at you.
Oh,
this was
Lord.
like some Shakespearean type of shit.
Literally.
Like literally, you're having sex, someone catches you, and you go, "It was Nicola." And everyone's like, "Oh."
God.
Just the way that everyone just believed it.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, there's no reason not to believe what you're being told, right?
But also believed it, and then it just seemed like everything was just on Nicola and not on the 28-year-old guy who's in a 6-year relationship.
And that's on the system.
It should be.
Let's
hit that.
And
It should be part of that story.
Yeah, that's the system, baby. That's the system. Be nicer to women.
Don't be her friend.
Yes.
Don't be.
Fuck that.
That's fucking crazy.
That's over.
Nicola under
That's
the
friendship
bus
has
like that?
sailed.
So mean.
That puts her in a really dangerous position. Like that was really dangerous.
It's
that was
reckless.
really unfair. That this is gonna have long-lasting effects. That's the fact that her apology was included like lols and ha.
She's like, I was so drunk.
No, that's you're calling up every single person at that wedding and telling them.
We're gonna get your ass.
The Ghostbuster comes in.
We're your ass, bitch.
You blame it on being drunk, and then you're like, you woke up the next day and you're like, what did I do? Like, resolve the problem.
Yeah.
Like,
Tell
no.
everyone, no, it was me.
Fix this shit.
You
Right.
ruined. You
Take
ruined a lot of
accountability
shit.
for your action, you
That's
homewrecker.
why she got away with it too.
I
Because
know.
a person caught them
Right.
and saw them.
Right.
And then somehow this rumor fully
Still,
succeeded,
yeah, that's the
and
part
she
I.
was running around
Yeah.
saying it. That's
Well, it's 500 people.
It's
It's
500
impossible.
Oh,
to keep
yeah,
track.
yeah.
500 people drinking. I'm sure there was
Facts.
a carnival about, maybe a Ferris wheel.
Elephant?
Hard to
I
keep
forgot there was
wrangling rumors.
5,000 people at this
Yeah,
wedding.
Right.
so rumors
The
fly.
percentage of possibility of something crazy like that.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
could have an atonement situation going on here.
I don't know what that means.
It's a
Atonement,
movie.
it's a book and a movie that's really good.
A book in a movie.
But it's an accusation book. A lie, a false accusation
A book in a movie.
that has tragic
a book
consequences.
in a movie.
Okay,
Anyway,
comments. If Caroline wants to continue your friendship, she needs to make this right and tell everyone that she lied. If she doesn't,
Absolutely.
then I would personally cut ties. Being drunk is no excuse for what she did. I think Nicola needs to stand up for herself as well. She should be very clear with people that she would never do something like that. Tell her not to let someone else ruin her reputation. If Caroline won't set the record straight, Nicola, you and your family can. OP responds, thanks for the suggestion. I haven't actually considered asking Caroline to go public and own up to this.
you
situation.
haven't?
I think I'll do this. I actually have no idea how she will react. Caroline is usually a decently moral person, but she also hates confrontation. My family and I have
So
been trying
what?
to
That's
set
not-
the record straight, but it's really hard to undo a rumor that is
Now,
spread
Caroline
around to
can go
so
fuck
many
herself.
people, a lot of which we
She's
are
canceled.
not that close with. Mostly because nobody actually wants to talk about it to us directly. Most of the talk goes on behind our backs, but of course we know it's happening. Someone else said, Daniel's caught. Everyone knows he had sex. Can he just clear up which girl it is he f***ed?
He
Regardless, I
should.
think your friendship is probably over. I'd go ahead and show those texts and tell your story. This is so humiliating for your innocent sister.
Yep.
Someone else said, people take a lot of pictures at weddings. Any chance there are pictures of Caroline hanging all over Daniel?
Yeah, like that's the
True.
proof. Like she herself had to pull Caroline off of this guy, and she snapped at her. Like it's all there.
It should have been, it probably was obvious to a lot of people,
Yeah.
but there's 500 people.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people who just weren't seeing things.
It's just
All
It's gonna only
right,
happen at a
Josu.
500 person.
Exactly.
only.
Like, if you have under 100 people, everyone's gonna be like, no, we
no.
We all know that.
saw it.
We all know who's who here. And like it's just that kind of a thing being a rumor thrown on a girl can be like life ruining. Like
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
there are women who have had to change schools because of rumors like that just get out of
Those
blown out of
rumors are
proportion. It's
disgusting.
really
19
damaging.
sucks.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
It sucks. And to have that, it also at 19, you kind of like, I don't know, a lot of people just already are going through the struggle of like hating themselves. I
Yeah,
feel.
who am I? What's
And you have
Yeah.
a bunch of people now going, I can't believe you
You're
did this
a-
horrible
yeah.
thing.
If
And
there's-
even if you know you're innocent, there's a psychological aspect of enough people telling you did something.
Like,
Yep.
did I?
You're gonna feel like you did it, even
Right.
if you
Nope.
didn't.
Poor
Okay,
girl.
Update.
Go, please.
Please.
Caroline has to
Do
get what's
something.
happened to her, right? But do we think it's photos? Do we think it's witness testimony?
Stones thrown at
Do we
her.
think Daniel throws her under the bus?
I
don't
hope
think Daniel's
Daniel
gonna do
throws her
anything.
under the
No,
bus.
Daniel's
He
gonna
hasn't
be-
done anything. He won't do anything.
Daniel's going to be a waste of time. I think we
Right.
know that.
I think someone saw the Reddit post and gave an honest account of the experience.
Whoa.
Oh.
Remember, she didn't change names or anything.
Oh,
That would be
she
crazy.
did not change
I'm
name?
done.
Oh, she done.
It's just something.
You
Okay.
post on Reddit, you have to be anonymous.
So about a week and a half ago, Caroline casually called me and asked to sleep over. She wanted to attend an event downtown, and my place was much closer to the event
No.
than hers. At this point, it became very clear that Caroline had no idea anybody was upset with her, despite
She-
the fact that Nicola and I
she's the
hadn't
worst.
spoken with her since the
She
wedding.
is the
I told
worst.
Caroline that I didn't think her sleeping over was a good idea, and when she
What a
asked
dumb
why, I
woman.
brought up what happened at the wedding. She laughed and said Nicola needed to grow up and get over it, and it really seemed like she expected me to agree and laugh along with her. Well, Reddit, I took your advice and let her have it. I told her how selfish and inconsiderate she was, and if it truly was no big deal, then she should have no problem taking full responsibility for her actions and publicly acknowledging that she was the one who hooked up with Daniel, and not
Exactly.
Nicola. I told her she needed to make things right because Nicola was still mortified over something she didn't do. At the end of the phone call, I gave her an ultimatum. Post an apology on Facebook and spill the beans about what actually happened, or our friendship was over, thanks to the Redditor who suggested this. To my complete and utter surprise, she did it. I thought it would make me feel better, but people were actually commenting on her Facebook status, commending her bravery and the fact that she did the right thing.
Huh?
I was super annoyed because of course she would never have done this had I not forced her to, but at the end of the day, Nicola is happy and her name is in the clear. Oh, and
That's
an
what
update on
matters.
Daniel and his
That's what
girlfriend.
matters.
According to his Instagram, they are happily together. Whether or not she knows about Caroline, I don't know and I don't care. Not my train wreck. How does she not know? It's public everywhere.
Oh my god.
What the
there's 500 people
fuck?
there.
What a weird whatever, as long as Nicola's fine. Like, I guess
Yeah.
that's the takeaway.
That is
It's a wacky world out there.
wild.
Yeah.
Hey man, really awesome that you're owning up.
Oh, that's so brave
Yeah,
of you to
that's
tell
huge,
us
dude.
that.
Thanks for
Good job.
Very brave for cheating.
Nice.
All right, let's move on.
That's crazy.
That's so insane.
Well, Nicola's name has been cleared though.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
that's
what's
not
important.
the end. That's not the update I was expecting at
No,
all.
no.
Same.
Very straightforward and whatever.
It is Facebook after
I guess
all.
Facebook is the way to do it. I was like, how do you like publicly clear someone's name? I was like, is she gonna go door to door like campaigning like a congressperson? Like, what do you do in a city like that?
It's Facebook. You could post an AI image of whatever, and people will be like,
Toast.
"This is real."
Like,
Literally.
see, it
So-
was Nicola, and it's like, a
Yeah,
picture of them.
exactly. It's just the most awful AI image. Well,
Wow.
all right.
Justice for
I
Nicola
Oh.
was achieved.
yeah, I still don't think I'd. That's
Oh.
hard to be friends with someone after
No.
they did that.
No, simply no.
Can't.
Simply no.
These are some.
I don't care if she
wild
apologized.
friends that people have out there.
Fuck her.
Yeah, I mean, cause like it's one thing to do that, do the quote unquote the home wrecking, but also like OP was trying to get her out of that situation, trying to pull her away from it, and this friend snapped at her.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, real people's masks are slipping. You know, that's kind of when you can see
yeah.
real shit.
Yeah.
Like that's just on the smallest scale, and then she goes on to do bigger and bigger things. Like I just don't see any room to forgive someone like that, in my opinion.
Nope.
Totally.
Well, good. Everyone was really disappointing this time.
Good.
We're not mad. We're just disappointed.
We're gonna put this all in the pizza to joy ratio.
You're gonna do we? So now do we have to like eat a bunch of pizza to feel better about this episode?
I think that's what the
I think
takeaway was
that
from
is
that story.
literally the takeaway.
Yeah, you eat a bunch of pizza and you feel
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Okay.
Pizza coming.
Pizza coming.
Pizza coming.
Well, thank you both for being here,
Thank you for
fun.
having.
and thank you all for watching. I hope you don't have any friends like this.
Yeah, and Shane, thanks for being my.
I
best
don't.
friend.
Oh,
Hey,
you two are
thank you.
best friends.
Thank you,
We're
best
best
friend.
Friends.
We're just best friends.
I don't have a bet. Just clarifying that. There's no bet.
Let us know what other themes and subreddits you want to see on this show. Let us know your thoughts and opinions on these stories that we've read today. And we'll see you next Saturday. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Let me replenish my shield before I put my other one. Are we a full squad? No. I mean, yes, what? We are a full squad, but we're done we done in 40 seconds. So if you don't mind waiting the 40 second, uh you can come after. Negato. Not gonna be long. Also, thanks again for the sculpture. I can't believe you don't need it. That's a good amount of endo. And I need endo so much. I'm endo deprived. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Oh, Torment is here. Where he at? Where he at? Oh, wait. Where is he? Oh, he's here. Is he dead? No, he's not dead. There you go. All right. All right. I'm gonna finish this shit and then put another Am I the Asshole podcast. Because I love Am I the Asshole podcast. Oh, wait, what? Oh, what the fuck? I'm stuck. Eh. There you go. I'm here. Noise. Hey.
Just your.
I took naps in libraries, like in between.
All right, moving on to the next story. Also cross-posted on our subreddit by Gracie Lower Score Win. Am I the asshole for telling my sister to get over what happened between her and our other sister?
I need more context.
Yeah.
Wait,
I'll say in general, it's not.
did I
good
hear
to tell
that
people
one?
To get over anything.
Yeah.
There are always, times maybe to guide somebody in that direction, but never to just tell somebody to get over anything.
Straight up.
Because straight up, no one's gonna get over it if you tell them to.
Don't
Just
tell
like
me
how-
what to do.
Just like
Yeah.
how I tell Sean to get over the puns.
Yeah,
You
he
tell
never
me to
even
get
got
over the
that,
puns?
I
don't think you've ever told me to get over
No.
He silently tells you to get over it because it's not going to
Oh.
stop.
No, I never would. Because,
Canadian.
yeah.
He's too nice. He's too nice. The flannel's too
Sometimes.
wholesome.
Sometimes.
Well, you ate, so I think you're going to be nice for the rest of
True.
the episode.
Yeah.
Josh knows the
Ooh.
list. Hello, Seattle.
Oh, wait a minute.
They say hi.
The next one is an
Brought
Arkwing
me a
mission.
cookie.
What type
Wow.
of cookie?
Chocolate chip, I think.
Is it gooey?
It does look gooey.
You can't.
I'm
Don't
jealous.
say. I know that wasn't sexual.
No, come on, bro. Like, I'm legit asking.
I
if the
know that
cookie is
wasn't
good.
sexual, but just the way you said it.
You are
made
pressed
me
right now, dude.
uncomfortable. No, we were just talking about fucking in libraries, and then you said,
Well,
is it,
I transitioned
is
to
it
cookie.
gooey?
Oh.
Can you put it in your mouth, Josh?
There it is. Stop.
I want to
But
hear
actually,
you
can you?
chew.
Ew.
Our other sister. 23.
But
Hear-
It's Am I the asshole for telling my sister to get over what happened between her and our other sister? 23 male, have 2 sisters. 27 female, we'll call her A, and 25 female, we'll call her D. A married my brother-in-law, 28 male, 3 years ago. That didn't work out, and brother-in-law ended up cheating on her and getting D pregnant.
Yeah, I
The
heard
other
that one.
sister. The other
Yep.
sister.
You're the asshole, brother. She's not going to get over it. And she shouldn't have to.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
On to the next story. And this is the last one before we hit an ad break. It's cross-posted on our subreddit by Disney Can't Stop Me, which they stole from Two Hot Takes subreddit.
Again, shout out Morgan, please.
We're begging for a collab episode at this point.
We will
We're
keep using your
desperate.
stories until you come
No,
up.
don't threaten them. White
See,
male podcaster threatens female podcasters
God
on the
damn it.
local news.
That's not going to end up in our favor, guys. I hate to break it.
No, we lose that battle 10 times out of 10.
So the title is, Am I the Asshole for Going Back Home Now That the Baby is Sleeping Through the Night?
You're an asshole for leaving.
Leaving your kid.
You're an asshole for leaving in the first place, brother.
Yeah.
You're looking at the wrong scenario. The timeline is different.
Okay. So he was an asshole before.
Wait,
Preemptive.
is that fucking? Did I listen to this entire thing? Husband can give. What a bit.
Yeah, true.
No, platonic raising a child.
Yeah. Okay. No, I heard that one.
And we're back
Whoa.
from hopefully a product or service that you needed or wanted. And
I heard if you Venmo Sean, he'll actually send you a video of Josh with live demonstrations of said products. He
Yeah,
may be
if,
close, he may be not. Who knows? You just gotta send that Venmo to Sean.
While my Instagram was showing that I was in New York, I secretly went to Ottawa, put cameras all around Josh's house without his permission, and just lots of raw footage of him using Manscaped products raw.
you joke about that, Sean, but we did a story last week where a girl had cameras in her bathroom. So
No!
Yeah.
Yes.
So gross. It was a bad
Spoilers.
joke.
Spoilers, she was the asshole. Be careful what you joke about, Sean.
Wait,
That's
I thought
hilarious.
this shit was an Arkwing mission.
All right.
It's not.
Time to hop into a listener submitted story on our subreddit. And this one kind of follows up the last one we did.
I'm disappointed.
In terms of fathers and babies and mothers and babies, This comes from educational midscore and midscore 5908.
How's that spelled, by the way?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
yeah.
did they spell it educational?
No, that was a
Damn
slip of the
it.
tongue. It's now just a thing that I do.
Well, there
And
is
I hate
first per Sean energy. I don't know if you missed that.
There is
Sean.
that one. Sean has
There's
not seen that
what?
one yet.
First per Sean energy.
Oh, come
Yeah.
on.
What's per Sean?
Jesus.
First
like
person
person.
energy.
But your name's in it.
Yeah,
That's a new
that's a
username.
thing. Yeah, it's a thing now.
God damn
Yeah.
it.
It's
And they're on
great.
our Discord too, so maybe you can just
Oh.
ask them what their reasoning is behind for torturing you. It's probably me.
Duh. Why would I ask? Duh.
Yeah, we know what the
You need to
reason
find a computer to undo this stupid
so
alarm.
The title of this one is, Am I the Asshole for Asking My Partner to Get Up with the Baby
So
in
what's
the
over
Middle of
there?
the Night?
I will say, if this is a mother speaking about her partner who did not give birth to this baby,
Mhm.
then no. If this
Okay.
is a father or a mother
Okay, what the
either way,
fuck?
that did not give birth, then I gotta say you are an asshole.
All right.
All that matters is who. It depends on where the baby came out of. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I like it. Is that also your assumption?
Well,
John?
no, I've had.
I feel like you were this
varying
gung ho on the Sean stuff before I left, and now
Oh,
it's
no,
been
he
2
fully-
weeks.
He fully committed.
It's been 2 weeks without me, and
He's-
you're fully John
I've
now.
fully converted Josh here.
So-
okay? I
Woo!
love it.
Wait.
You know when you do a bit with your friends and then you'll say a word and then everyone starts saying it as like a bit. I say it in my regular day-to-day life now. It is wild how much it's influenced me. I'm like, fuck. I really said that to real people that are not listening to our podcast. And then they're like, what the fuck did you just say? Yeah, so it's less of a bit and more of just my life now.
This is
I hate-
real life now, Sean.
I hate it just as much as you do, Sean. So I want you to
I
know
would
that.
like to have
Like,
more
you say
Arkwing
something-
mission
say
because,
something
like,
ironically, and then it just becomes
I
totally-
need to
Exactly.
level a bunch of
Yeah.
shit in
Let's hop
Arkwing.
into this story. So I, 30 female, always get up with the baby in the middle of the night when she wakes up. She is 6 months and female. My husband, 34 male, and I share responsibilities of putting the baby to bed at night. And I'm always the one to get the baby up in the morning, besides some weekend days. But I like to let my husband sleep in on weekends since he works 4 a.m. to 3 p.m. and doesn't get a whole ton of sleep most nights. I work part-time in the evenings and weekends in food service. The past couple of days, we've all had a cold that has knocked us all on our asses. I got home from work Saturday night at 9 p.m. and the baby was already put to bed. When she woke up at 3 a.m., I asked my husband to
Oh my
please
god,
give
I
her a
heard about this.
bottle and put her
whole
back to
episode.
bed. He said, I can't, I haven't slept at all. I'm so sick. I was with her all day. Since I was planning on getting up with her in the morning, I was so upset that he couldn't just get up with her and put the baby back to bed, which
Yes, I remember that story. Wait, did I listen to this entire episode? I'm so fucking. Proposal. What's this?
All right, with that, we're going to move into our final story before we hit the Patreon story episodes.
I'm mad now.
I knew that would make you mad too.
Fuck.
Cross-posted on our subreddit by user flying mid-score plant. I almost said
Ooh.
dash, whatever the fuck that is.
They've been used a lot lately. So.
Yeah, we used them last episode, I think.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They're doing great. Am I the asshole if I tell my friend her boyfriend is planning to propose?
Yeah.
No.
You gotta leave an element of surprise. You gotta give them the opportunity to be
If you
surprised,
know your
though.
friend does not want to get engaged,
okay, that's fair.
Okay.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
you
But-
gotta be like, he's gonna fucking do some stupid shit.
I'd maybe tell him.
Yeah,
You
tell
know?
him, not her.
But then, yeah, that's the first thing. The first thing is telling him, being like, I don't think she wants this.
Fair enough.
But, if he's like, you don't know our relationship, then you might want to be like, I don't know.
Maybe I should
don't know.
cock block.
I don't know. Maybe it's maybe it's not her place to say no to this.
Here's my thing on that, Sean. Like, and I'm not even going to go into whether that's right or not, but like, even if he's going to propose and your friend doesn't want that, she can say no. She has the
Yeah.
autonomy to do that.
True that.
So why not
Yeah.
just let that happen?
Organically happen.
Facts.
Yeah.
Unless it's like, I'm going to
Abusive
propose.
or whatever.
Well, that too. But
Okay.
I'm going to propose at a fucking large event
Wedding.
Olive
where
Garden.
she'll have to say yes because of the implication.
Disney
Implication.
World. That's a good point too, Sean.
I'm going to be wrong on all of this, I'm sure.
Well, we'll see.
You never know. You never know.
See. My 27 female best friend has been dating her boyfriend, 26 male, for over 5 years. A while back, he reached out to me to help figure out ring size and set up. So
She's
that I could
cheating.
make this most magical moment.
He's
for her.
cheating.
Having known my friend for 20 plus years, I know exactly how she'd want the proposal to go and who she wants to be there. So I relayed all this information to him months ago via text and over the phone. I even took the time to covertly find and confirm which ring she would love the most. A little background. My friend is incredibly family and friend oriented, and in the past expressed to me on multiple occasions that in the 5 years they've been together, he hasn't really made much of an effort to indoctrinate himself into her family or friendships the
Whoa.
way she has for his.
That's giving me.
That's
weird
not good.
vibe. Indoctrinate. Why?
Poor choice of word, maybe, but
yeah,
maybe.
it's weird to me.
yeah, I think they generally mean just like getting
Getting to know
Getting
their
to know,
family. Okay,
yeah.
Exactly.
choose better words. Opie, I'm sorry.
indoctrinate. I'm getting cult vibes.
Word is
right.
too big for us.
Josh is like, I'm getting flashbacks.
Oh no. Scientology.
Oh God.
Oh,
Great
what the
episode,
fuck?
by the way.
No,
genuinely
what the
like
hell?
him. I have always felt that he is incredibly self-serving and self-focused. Recently, through a mutual friend, I found out he started a group text between his emphasis on his friends and families to set up the time and date of the proposal. He has not only excluded myself, and according to the screenshots I've seen, he is doing everything verbatim I
Oh, for
suggested
fuck's
to
sake.
do,
What the
but he
fuck?
has
Where
completely
am I?
excluded her family and other close friends from the event. He's planning on only having his boys and family present for the occasion, and
Disgusting.
knowing my friends, this would ultimately break her heart, not being able to share this moment with her loved ones.
No!
I got heated and called him. At first, he was dodging my questions, then just outright said, "This is my proposal, and I've spent enough time and
can't
money
fucking
to choose how to
jump.
do it. Just be happy for your friend. It's not like you're coming to the wedding."
Dang.
Excuse me?
This
All right.
infuriated me.
I would rat immediately.
Oh, absolutely. I'm telling my friend
Immediately.
yesterday.
This infuriated me, and to make matters worse, I ran into her mom and dad at the grocery store, subtly asked if they knew any possibility she was getting engaged. They were unaware, and I know for a fact my friend has told him that he needs to ask her parents for their blessing. She's somewhat traditional. My friend wears her heart on her sleeve,
Nope.
and I can predict how
I'm
this
so
event will go
lost.
down when she sees all of his close
I'm
friends and
so
family
fucking
and
lost.
hers. Considering her previous sentiment about his lack of interest in her family life, she will 100% see this as being hurtful and selfish, and I know she'll cry. To make matters worse, the location of the proposal is a whopping 30 minutes from her parents' home. That's not that far.
That's not far.
I digress. I don't want to get involved in a fight or reveal the surprise, but on the other hand, I feel like I owe it to my lifelong friend to help her avoid being hurt and disappointed. Maybe even helping her rethink what her future would look like with someone who just doesn't really appreciate what she values in life. So am I the asshole if I tell my friend her boyfriend is going to propose?
Nope.
No.
Okay. You want to explain?
Are there edits?
There are a few edits, yeah. But I want to hear your general.
I'll say
thoughts.
no.
Oh my
This
fucking
guy fucking
God.
sucks. Red flag right away. My proposal.
I'm
You're not coming to my wedding. Not talking to the parents. Just generally over 5 years, not listening to your girlfriend explain that she wants you to be a part of her family, be a part of her friend group, and you kind of just being like, no. Yeah, I think you suck, and ultimately it's her choice.
I have no clue where to go.
She can go through it. Me personally, if I was the best friend, I would fucking rat immediately. You could not. I wouldn't even have time to write this Reddit post. I'd already be on the phone being like, "Can you believe this
Oh.
motherfucker?" But that's me personally. I could see,
Did I find myself?
how Josh is, originally said, like, she has her own chance to say no. Let it happen.
Yeah.
But also I would fucking rat.
Absolutely.
I have a couple things to say about this. So far, my first impressions. First one, I would say I am also getting red flags, like what Sean said. It
Yeah,
seems
fuck,
like
fuck
this
him. The boyfriend's
is
trash,
trying to isolate the girlfriend,
which is a
from
huge red
everything. Like,
flag.
only introduce or only going through it with his side of the family and completely ignoring the best friend's suggestions about like having her family involved too. I feel like he's gonna try to slowly take her away, especially once they get married. So that's my first red flag.
Yes.
Second, I have a theory. And
Oh.
it might be wrong, but it's okay. I'm gonna be wrong, but it's all right.
Oh.
I think that the best friend is secretly in love with the girlfriend.
Oh,
That is my theory.
okay.
Where the fuck is this coming from?
Interesting.
John,
I don't think
I don't
got
think
that.
so.
But
Again, it's a theory, so it's like it
Okay.
could be completely wrong.
It's
just
probably wrong.
a game
Yeah.
theory.
They're just lifelong friends, John. You have tattoos with your friends. You know
That's
how
true.
lifelong friends work. If this was happening and one of your boys was gonna marry like a total narcissist manipulator, I feel like you would probably tell your friend like
Exactly. It has nothing to
If
do
I'm
with
lucky,
like
then
you
I
being
have
in
one
love with
for
your
face,
friend.
I'm just saying.
So
But I, know I'm
that's
wrong.
You
It's my
laugh
theory.
You laugh in my face regardless. Every time you say some fucking
High
pun
action.
that you know in your heart of hearts that.
And
drives me
yes, Twitch
insane.
is way faster.
It
Also,
brings
thank you
you
for
so
the
much
follow.
joy.
It's
And to that,
appreciated.
It
You
does.
guys, why aren't you Venmoing me more? I'm going through trauma just to do the show.
So much elation just
Wow.
doing that too.
only 20 more
Roll
years of
past
it,
it.
Sean.
Oh
God
damn,
damn
we're
it.
gonna last that long? Holy fuck!
So the
By then,
contract
I
you made
hope
him sign.
Cultivate is big enough to where we don't have to do the show anymore.
Wow.
You
I'm
want to
sick
break
of
up
it.
with us?
Break it up with you, John.
All right, before we break up, let's go into the edits and see what what's happening. So, edit, I did not tell her parents. I covertly inquired if he had spoken to them yet about proposing since it's been 5 years, like in a joking way. Edit 2, the proposal is scheduled for this weekend. I will give you an update on how it goes. After so many responses, I've decided not to say anything and let it play out. I gave him an opportunity by expressing the need to invite her parents and friends like she always wanted, and he chose not to. That's on him, not me. So that kind of goes into a little bit of Reddit's thoughts. They called her an asshole. They said, don't tell him or don't tell her if it's meant to be, the friend will react how she reacts. And basically don't spoil it and just see how
I
it
would have
plays
spoiled
out.
it. I don't give a fuck.
You gave him the warning and he did not heed that advice. And so I think Reddit was, not necessarily calling her an asshole, but just being like, yeah, don't
Hey, yo,
just see how
chill.
this plays
Yeah,
out.
see
Let's
how
see
it
how the
goes.
karma
I'm an asshole.
falls into place.
I'm
So
gonna
I
tell
think
her.
that's more where Reddit fell. They kind of, I think they agreed with you guys, but they were just
That's
like,
fair.
well,
Plus,
let's get
why
his
is she with him
synopsis, you know what I
anyway? He
mean?
sounds like
Let
he's
him feel his thing.
trash.
And so there is indeed an update to this post, which I hope we have time for. This is going to be a long episode. I apologize, boys. So, to everyone who told me to keep my mouth shut, Thank you.
Oh.
On Saturday, the day of the proposal, I got a call from her boyfriend. He was screaming at me, blaming me for not showing up, which I was uninvited still, to the proposal with her parents because she was upset they weren't there. I was fucking slack-jawed. I told him I knew this would happen, and he said verbatim, "You just admitted you knew this would happen, so if you knew the whole time and you actually cared about her, you would have invited them."
That's not her job.
That's literally not. That's your job, you
That's not her
stupid
fucking
cunt.
job, dude.
I was gobsmacked and hung up on him. Not even an hour later, I get a call from her asking me to come to her parents. According to her, this is how the situation played out. He popped the question, she said yes, and the people he invited popped out from hiding. She was bombarded by 4 of his guy friends, his mom, dad, older brother, and sister-in-law. His parents were holding up a sign that read, "Welcome to the family, Miss insert name here."
Yo.
And this is where things go downhill.
Uh-oh.
I did not know this before, and I thought I knew everything, but my friend doesn't want to change her last name. And she's told
Wow.
him that repeatedly since they got together. She's an only child
He's
from
a
a Ukrainian
trash
family,
boyfriend.
and with everything going on in Ukraine in the last year, she's doubled down. When she saw the sign, she joked, "Miss last name? I think you mean Miss and then her last name."
Mm-hmm.
Everyone went silent until his mom said, "Well, the ring is already engraved. No changing it now."
Bitch,
She takes
yes.
off the ring and sees Miss, his last name, engraved on the band. Then
That's
she asked
bad.
if her parents were coming. He gave every excuse. He didn't even have their number. There were too many people there. He wanted to keep it private. And eventually he said, "This was my proposal to you, and now my family is your family. We can just send your parents pictures of later."
Wow.
She then took
Bad
the ring
luck.
off and left.
Good.
That's when I
Good for
assumed
her.
I got a call from him.
Good
She
for
went
her.
straight to her parents. She asked them about the engagement, and they were clueless. She then asked if I knew anything. I asked if she was in the right place, and she said she was. So I told her I would answer any question she had, rather than dumping everything on her. She was upset, but thanked me. She was furious when I told her about the phone call from him earlier and said, "Does he really think I'm that shallow?" She said it wasn't about having a perfect proposal or her parents there. It was about him making the whole thing about himself, as he always does. And she was done feeling ignored and belittled. So
Good.
this was her breaking point.
Good.
She stayed with
Good
her
on
parents. Yeah, exactly. She's staying with her parents currently and is receiving a lot of texts from him. The worst
Fuck him.
one so far is him telling her she has to pay him back for the ring for ruining his life.
He can
Baby
suck
boy.
my
No, no, no,
dick
no, no, no,
and
no.
choke on it.
I don't
If anything,
What a trash
he's
boyfriend.
lucky that she left the ring. Because if it
Really?
were me,
I would have
I
pawned
would've
that thing.
took that shit and pawned that shit. Left.
Period.
You had, bro, you had the fucking game plan and you still fumbled. Like, what the friend had an exact thing to do and you still couldn't get that
He
shit
had the
right.
recipe
Oh my
and he
God, homie
still decided to
dodged
use the
a
wrong
bullet there, like,
ingredients.
it's-
I'm glad he didn't.
She,
You know what I mean?
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Like
I'm
just
glad she
because
he
didn't
showed
tell
his
her.
ass.
even if he was like did this thing right, that doesn't make up for the past 5 years of
Not
being
ignoring
ignored.
her request.
Yeah.
And the whole last name thing. It's just this guy
Negligence
fucking
at that
sucks.
point, yeah.
This guy
Yeah.
What's
sucks.
never gonna happen when they're actually married and have the family
Exactly.
controlling even more?
Yep. And being weirdly involved with her last name. Like, who cares? Finish it up right now. All I can do is be here for her and whatever decision she makes. I will fully support her because, as you all helped me realize, this isn't about me. It's about her. Not my monkey, not my circus.
Well,
Indeed.
is that a
Yeah.
common
That's the
phrase?
Yeah, second
must
time
be.
I
Is
heard
Is
that.
I've never heard that before. I read it in the last episode,
Same.
and that's twice.
I have heard it before. I forget where, but yeah, it is definitely a phrase.
Okay, that's the first 2 times for me too.
Yeah,
Me and John are learning about white people culture all the time.
Mm-hmm.
that's true.
True. Not my
That's
monkey,
what it
not my
is.
circus.
Wow.
Yeah. So
for us, it's like shit. It couldn't be me. That's right.
If it were me,
we'd be heavily involved. No, I think Reddit's judgment was. I mean, your guys' judgment was,
no,
definitely.
I don't-
You guys
I don't-
were thinking about her, but you were also like thinking in the sense of like trying to warn her, basically. But
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
gotta let her have the choice and make the decision.
I
'cause,
guess.
I
I mean, it all
That's what
played
John
out
was
well,
into.
so.
Yeah.
I think John was like not spoiling it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would've
So
spoiled
John
that
was with
shit.
Reddit. I was.
Okay.
I'm irrational.
That's fine. So good on OP. You're not the asshole. But yeah, good thing you did tell.
Good for her. Everything is well that ends well.
Father gardening.
These are stories we read together. I don't know what else to say now.
What the
So
fuck?
let's all just hum it out.
Oh, wait. Oh my god, is this how you start it every time? That's the first time I hear it. I usually skip the beginning.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Comfort Level Podcast. I'm Maddie, and I'm here with Sam 1.
Sam 2.
That felt good.
Yeah, that felt good.
Yeah.
Almost a bit like deja vu.
Oh yeah, like a little bit.
Like we've been here
No, don't
before.
kill me.
Can I tell them a little
I
secret,
think
guys?
you should tell them
Yeah,
something.
tell them
man.
something.
So we filmed almost this entire episode
What?
already with our amazing reactions, genuine, first time listening.
That was really good.
And then I look over because it's my responsibility.
And you
to
were not
look over, guys,
recording.
I did not record the audio.
Oh
So we
my
were probably
god.
like an hour and a half in, but because I don't know when we started filming, but I heard the beep at least 3 or 4 times.
Yeah,
So that's
it
an hour
beeps.
and a half to 2 hours.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sammy was about to leave. Like,
Sam was out.
that's her day. See you guys later. And then I look over and I say, cut. Cut. Stop the cap.
Stop the cat.
Because, guys, we didn't record any of that.
Oh
So
my
we're
gosh.
back. And
We are.
have the audio recording. We're 7 minutes into this audio recording.
We can say that was the greatest episode with Sam 1 we've ever had.
Yeah.
And it's a lost episode now.
Done.
Ooh.
And done.
What we're going to give you now is going to be an approximation of what happened.
We're going to sum everything up, too,
Yeah.
probably, because we've been here for over 3.5 hours at this point. Sam literally left to go because she's dog sitting. We went and got lunch. Like, it's later in the day.
We're having a day.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I think the one thing that could cheer up our spirits is if you hit that subscribe button. If you're not
Please.
subscribed yet, leave a little like and just send us a little love in the chat because we all need a little bit of love,
We all do.
especially today.
Borderline AFK.
Sammy, like, this isn't the first time I asked you.
It do be like that sometime.
Oh no, we're restarting the whole thing.
Oh, we're doing it? Oh. It was good. Scared little kids. Loved it. Not little kids, excuse me. Toddlers, I'm nice to, even though I look scary.
Sam, you had a chance to change it completely and not
I was
be
like,
weird. And you still
I'm still just weird,
You're
dude.
still
I
a
can't-
monster.
double down
That
on
was
it.
your chance to fix the record. You're still bad.
First
so.
time we were like, okay, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. The second time it's like,
Second
no,
time-
You are scaring toddlers, and I
did
know
scare
that
the
because you're
toddlers.
specifically
So-
saying you're not.
Initially, yeah, they're scared when they look at me because I'm dressed up scary. But
Who
like,
are you dressed up as?
Georgie from It.
From It.
Yes, because
And
my
your house is decked
Pennywise.
out.
Yeah.
And you
Like
are
it.
missing an arm.
Yes, I was missing an arm, and
So you're a bad person.
And the boat.
You're a bad person.
No boat, though, I
no
don't
boat.
think.
I
she
didn't
was
have
missing
a
the
boat.
boat. That's what
Oh,
it was
what,
on
she
the
was
arm
mi-
that was
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It was on my arm that was missing.
They'll all float. That was a bad.
We all float.
missing. You'll float too.
You'll float. Why am I doing that voice?
float too, Georgie.
You'll float too, Georgie.
There you go. That was a good one.
I felt good on that one.
That felt good.
Your eyes did the
yeah,
thing, and it
yeah.
kind of scared me. I'm not gonna. I was scared.
Am I the asshole for messaging my birth father's Christian wife, warning her of the crazy things he did in his past?
Oh man.
We have a chance to make a right from not necessarily wrong, but guess what? This whole episode is brought to you by r/comfort level 5.
So if you have a story and you want
Oh my god. I better not have a fucking cold. I almost never go out. I hate winter. Whew.
to have our community or us react to it, post it on r/comfortlevelpod.
Yeah.
And if you post it anywhere else, we're probably not going to see it and we're probably not going to react to it.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole for messaging my birth father's Christian wife, warning her of the crazy things he did in his past?
Yes,
I,
but
34 PM, cut my father out of my life around 10 years ago after some truly wild and horrible things he did to me the year after my daughter was born.
oh,
I moved hours away from him and everyone else in my life to be in a city where I could start fresh. I found out a few years ago through social media that he recently married a lovely Christian woman from another country, that they lived in his home together, and they were regular churchgoers and part of a solid community. I myself have struggled with religion, and ultimately I have turned away from it due to situations with Christian people I won't get into here. But I truly believe most people in the church are really loving, kind, and try to live out good morals.
except for the
I decided
priest.
through conversations
fucking
with
hell.
family and my therapist to try and forgive and build a new relationship with him. I took my daughter to my hometown on holiday to meet them and spend some time together. It didn't take long for me to realize he was the same lying, manipulative person as always. My internal alarm bells went haywire, and I ended up taking my daughter home early. I was emotionally fragile and in shock. So when his wife messaged me to find out why, I hadn't had time to calm myself down and I word vomited everything out to her. I ended the message by telling her and sending her evidence of him lying to her about the holiday visit plans. Even though that part seemed insignificant to some, it was more lying from him again, and I couldn't just brush it under the rug. She sent me his cell phone number and said that he's still willing to reconcile, but I'm not. I'm hurting so bad. He's been a horrible father to me all of my life, and I was hoping that with him being a good Christian man now, I might have a chance at having a good father that loved me. I can see that won't happen. My mother's side of the family and some of my ex's friends that I've told about this have said that I should have
Wait,
kept
let me
my
go get
mouth
that shit
shut,
real quick.
that it wasn't my place to say anything, and what was I expecting to happen? Am I the asshole for being honest about his malicious past?
Nope. Although I would like to know what he did. Exactly.
It's hard because I don't know
What he did.
maliciousness
Like, we don't know
is.
what he did.
I
How
would
bad
say
was
that
it?
People do things in their past that they're not proud of, or people can change, right?
But she said he's
Yeah,
still
so if
lying.
he-
I will say again.
This makes me laugh.
Wait.
I know, it's so hard. Okay, first of all, Christian is just a title. It's just a word. Just
Facts.
because someone says they're Christian and goes to church does not mean that they believe or participate in the same exact values that they are perceiving that they do. So, people are going to be people regardless. And getting over stuff you do in the past is, I don't know. It's like, but I also remember we were talking earlier this week about, just the whole thing about not painting your perception on people. Like, you
Wait, you
grew
guys
up
are not
with
gonna
him,
get
he
that
was your
thing over
father,
there?
so you have a certain perception of him. But I think
I'm gonna
where
get it.
my conflict comes in is your perception of somebody.
Oh, hell no,
You
never
don't
mind.
want to ever put yourself in a position to paint it for somebody else.
It's
Warning,
under.
I understand, because it's like, hey, I grew up with him for most of my life. I had to get away from him. But you also are not there to see the change. If he did change, I'm not saying that he didn't.
She
You
said he's
could
still
have
lying.
had a very valid reaction to whatever triggered you. But at the same time, just don't paint your perception for other people to, like, let them kind of figure it out for themselves. Just, I don't know, that I feel like there could be some sort of malice that could happen. You feel the way you feel. And I think another big thing is just reacting when you feel something versus reacting when you don't. How much different would the message have been? Or because it was a message, or was it a conversation? Did she call
I think
her?
it was a message because she sent proof afterwards.
Yeah.
No, it was a
Word
conversation and
vomiting
then
in
she sent
person
proof. But
is
regardless,
different than word vomiting over text, because then you can read it back and be like,
I think at least
oh yeah,
that's what I understood.
But if it was like over call, it's like, okay, yeah, you felt a way, you said it in the moment,
Yeah.
Right.
but now you have some time to kind of sit back and realize what you're doing. I think the warning would probably come off a little different if you have more time to sit and think on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't say you're the a-hole. It's just a very situational thing that happened and you reacted.
Mm.
Now, whether you can live with that reaction and what that does for your father and his family, that is on you.
Mm-hmm.
I get what Brandon's saying because that's something I try not to do myself is paint other people with the color that I have for them. But
That being said,
OP was discussing that this man hasn't changed. Like he's even lied to the current wife. Just
exactly.
like, hey, just so you know, this is his character. I came back because I thought he changed. He hasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And it triggered me so much, frustrated me so much, which yes, if she wasn't upset, would she have said everything? Probably not. But she did what she did. I don't think she's the asshole. I think it's fair. I think it happens. Sometimes you're in emotion, you let stuff out like that. And I think she had even more reason to do it because she's like, just so you know, right now this man is lying to you. So that's what I said.
Oh, what I said.
You're gonna feel it when she start talking. You're like, did I?
I think we should
I feel off.
We should just talk.
Yeah, just talk. We're in a situation where we're reading a Reddit story and we'll hear stories about, we're only getting this small snippet. You definitely went through something traumatic in your life that caused you to break a relationship with your father for 10 years. You did not speak to this man. It was that serious enough that you were like, I need to get him out of my life. So that's a big thing. That's you coming back, even if you want to reconcile, like that's still there. That it must have been big that you needed to go. So you're still going in with a little bit of that in your heart, even if you have a heart towards forgiveness, towards openness, that when you go to see this man, a lot of things could trigger you. Right. Things that not necessarily are bad if an outside viewer saw. You're like, wait, why are you getting triggered by that? It's like, because it reminds me of something you did in my childhood. And in my head, I just got transported back to that time where now I'm like, you are a bad guy. You are evil, even if he could have changed. So I don't want to say she's an asshole or not because I don't know the full situation. I don't know the full thing. I don't think necessarily she's an asshole. I do think people should be more regulating their emotions more. I feel like we do leave a lot of excuses of like, well, I felt it.
Yeah.
We are adults and we should be able to regulate our emotions in a way that we're just not lashing out because that's what children do. Like children lash out. They let their emotions run wild. We should be able to regulate our emotions in a way that we don't make decisions that we don't want to do in the moment. And we're not 100% perfect. That's never going to happen perfectly. But for the most part, I should be able to like, Brandon makes me mad. I don't, you know. So I'm just pushing back. Like this is a story where we're getting one side of the story. He could be a changed man. He could not be a changed man. And you're like Brandon's saying, you still are painting your perceptions of your relationship onto him now. Whether that's right or wrong, I think that's for the wife to decide, for the wife to figure out. Family relationship that has years of things going. There's years of situations that are painted behind it. And you don't know what the father has been through in these last 10 years. And maybe he has changed and he thinks differently. He might be remorseful for what he did in the past. So that's all
I don't know. I'm going to trust OP if she says that he hasn't.
New wife was like, he is willing to reconcile. Here's his phone number. So it seems like maybe he does feel bad about his past, maybe, but I don't know.
We also don't know what he did.
Any of his behavior in any sort of way.
Yeah.
At the church that we all met at. There's this thing. Yeah. Well, except
not me.
Sam. Yeah. Sam one.
She's drinking in the back.
Wait, I didn't give the shit? What the fuck?
It's called heart posture. That's the thing we believe in. And it's like when you're doing an act for like what is your heart saying? Like when you do the act. But OP, I would definitely just also make sure that was a heart check. If you feel conflicted about what you did, I would just say go back and ask yourself, what was my heart behind telling the wife about his past? Because if you can answer that honestly, I don't think you'll need Reddit posts to validate you and what you're feeling or to tell you if you're wrong.
Actually, I do think that's a good point of like your heart posture because I was talking about with a friend about being altruistic, like doing things for other people, and how that inherently is a selfish thing. No one's like being good to just be good. You do get something from doing good for others or doing something for someone. If it makes you feel good, which makes them feel good, which kind of builds everybody up. Being selfish is not necessarily a bad thing, but you also be like, what am I trying to get out of this interaction? Am I doing it just for the intrinsic value of me feeling good, or I want to hurt this other person? Like, that's when you're getting into like, what is the real reason I'm doing it? It's not bad that you're doing something for yourself to make yourself feel good.
Yeah.
But if you also know the consequences are it's going to hurt someone else, then like maybe or I'm expecting something because I did something good, and like maybe I'm not quite doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we don't know OP's intention, but I would say, if I could guess, I think it probably was mixed, probably for a little bit of hurt, but also genuinely trying to help the other person. But who knows?
Only OP knows.
And that's for OP to know and OP to find out.
I wouldn't let my fiance eat until dinner was done. Sorry for the formatting, we're on mobile. Tonight, I, female 27, made my fiance, male 27's favorite meal. I don't make it often, as it is something I don't personally care for, and I always end up having to make a separate meal for myself or just do without if I don't feel like cleaning more dishes. He works a medium level labor job, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., and I work from home, 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Every night, I pack his lunch and snacks for the next day and always include plenty of options in case he is hungry on breaks or on the drive home. I let him know when he called on his lunch break what I would be making for dinner, and he was very excited. He came into my home office a few minutes before I got off work and asked if
I'm just
dinner was
looking
done.
what I
I
can
told
do.
him I hadn't been able to start it as this dish is very involved, lots of active cooking, nothing can sit unwatched or it will burn.
Okay.
But this meal does not usually take too long, maybe 30 to 45 minutes at the most. He was insistent that he was hungry then and he had wanted to get back on his game with the boys. I told him to get a small snack while I prepared our dinner. I'd get started as soon as I logged off. He said, I don't want a snack. I want food. I want something with sustenance. I told him that I had everything ready to go and I didn't take anything out to make anything for myself, and I wasn't going to let the ingredients go to waste since this is not something I will eat myself. Cue the yelling match of us going back and forth, me telling him I cook our meal every day at this time and it's only a problem when he wants to get back to gaming immediately. If he was hungry when he got home and before dinner, that is the time to have a snack, not to make a full meal when he knows I'm going out of my way to cook something he likes and requests often. He said I only wanted to cook for him because it'll make me feel like I'm doing my job as his wife.
Oh.
And told me I was abusive and controlling. I can admit that I can be controlling, but I contribute that to my ADHD, and I have been actively working to loosen my grip. He left the kitchen so I could cook. I finished dinner in about 40 minutes. I let him know dinner was done, and he sulked for 15 minutes before finally coming to the dining room. He loaded up 2 plates, normal for him, he's a large guy, and ate half of 1 plate before throwing everything in the trash, saying it was not to his standards. I told him that I was sorry that he didn't like it, and I offered to make something else and bring it to his game room.
Excuse me,
He said
what?
not to bother because he was going to bed since none of his friends would be on the game to play with him. It took me almost 2 hours to clean up the kitchen and pack his lunch because I was crying so hard. I absolutely would have made him something else if he truly didn't
What
like
do you
me when dinner
mean, make
turned
him
out.
something
I could hear
else?
him rustling around in the snack boxes to find something to eat. I know the obvious better ways it could have been handled.
It's
We didn't need to
divorce.
start yelling at each other, but what else could I have done differently so
Divorce.
that I'm better prepared next time he comes to me wanting something as I'm making our meals? And then there's an update.
Divorce. But it's probably not going to be divorce. This woman is delusional. Are you done, Deku? I'm getting heated about this story. I need to go hit some shit.
Yeah.
I don't like it
Mm-mm.
at all.
Very
Acting
abusive.
like a 2-year-old because your dinner's not ready.
Gaslighting.
And
Manipulative son of a bitch.
You don't even normally eat at that time.
Throw the
so
plate in his face.
She said she was making it at her normal time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You're a grown ass man. Yeah. I don't like it at all.
And
it's expectant, and I don't like it.
Yeah, like she has to cook it. She
Right.
doesn't have to cook it.
Right.
She works more hours than you every single day.
And he
'cause she
just wants to
works-
sit his
she
ass and
works
play
at
video
home,
games.
that's what she said. Just because I'm working at home doesn't mean that I don't have to work.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I'm not
I'm
working just because
at
I'm working
work.
at home. I can't just be doing other things. That's rude. That kind of defeats the purpose of me working
Correct.
at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Mm-mm. It makes me angry.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he's a grown 27 years old is grown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his brain is done developing.
Acting like a 2-year-old.
He can cook. He can make a
you're not getting
sandwich.
fed when you
Grown ass little bitch.
when you want to eat. Well, yeah, no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree too. Especially the fact that he gets home. He works less than her. He has a medium intensive job, but he works less than her. So you could be helpful and either make your own dinner, including your lunches each day. Like the fact that she's
She
doing all
makes.
this
Oh my god.
is
He
not out
he
of
wants to date his
obligation,
mom.
it's out of
She wants
Ridiculous.
because she wants to. She's doing that because she loves you. It's her way of, not everybody does this. Not every woman does this.
Right.
It's her way of showing that she loves you and she's being intentional. She doesn't have time to do this. Like she gets right off of work and still goes into working in a different way for you. Like you have been off work for a few hours at this point. You've probably taken a shower. You've had time to chill. And you're immediately coming to her while she hasn't even clocked out yet, complaining about how your dinner's not ready.
Bruh.
You have
The audacity.
2 hands. You know how to make dinner. You know how to
The
order
audacity.
food. You know, you can do this. Sometimes it's as simple as putting milk in a bowl of cereal.
Did you just say milk?
My wife's a teacher and she works every day except weekends, and I work lesser day. I cook for us, or sometimes she buys takeout and I do. See, that's balance. And no, it's just she works. She works full time, and she still has to come home, cook, and clean. Bitch, we're not in 1950, like with the housewife and shit. This is disgusting. Disgusting. And he has the audacity to throw her food away, saying it's not up to his standards? Ooh, this man, I would probably be in jail. Because there is no way you're going to disrespect me after I actually work my ass to cook for the both of us. And it's not a. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Do you really want to live? Because that's crazy. That's a crazy statement. That's a crazy behavior. I'm so happy to be single. I have zero patience for this kind of bullshit. I could never. That could never be me. That could never be me. And I would never be able to stay with somebody like this to the point where I feel bad for not cooking up to his standards. Girl, divorce or break up, run, heal, love yourself. So sad.
Did you just say milk?
What I was saying was he has other things that he could have eaten around the house that he can make himself that are like 1 or 2 ingredients. Some of it can be like simple ingredients like an omelet or something, and it could also be having cereal. Like it's not that big of a deal. So I don't remember what my point was either.
He could do it himself. Like he doesn't have to make her do it. Like she doesn't have to.
Yeah,
be
she's
doing
not
that.
obligated to do it. And then that one little thing that he said of like it's your job to do.
Bruh.
It's not her job
Bruh.
to do.
Bruh.
If you don't start
Insane.
appreciating this woman, she's gonna be gone pretty soon. So
For real.
She should be gone already.
Like it's not. She's not. She doesn't have to. Like you said, she doesn't have to be doing any of that. She's making your lunch. She's doing all of that extra stuff. No, nope.
And people
Insanity.
complaining about hunger always annoys me. I'm like, you don't know what hungry is. If you ate that day, you're not hungry. You
Right.
might be like, you might
Facts.
want some food, but you're not hungry. You're acting like you're gonna die. bro, you're fine, man.
That reminds me, I saw this TikTok, and I feel like it works for people in these scenarios where it's like, I'm hungry, dinner's not done. This dude, he's like, all right, this video is for all my babies out there. I'm gonna need y'all to lock in. Like, you hungry? You crying because you hungry? We all hungry. Go up and get you some food. Order it if you need to.
Yeah.
But you a baby. Like, you need to lock in. And it's like, bro, it's so
definitely does that.
unserious.
Yeah.
But like, to a person in this scenario, it's like, it kind of works.
Need it.
But yeah, that's crazy.
I don't want a snack. I need something with substance. Like, what?
Yes.
Who are you?
Lock in, bro.
Come
And
at me
then-
like that.
Also, OP's comments where she was like, "Well, what can I do better?" I was like, "I think
What can I do better? You
guys
can
definitely
love
have a
yourself."
Conversation about him never speaking to you like that ever again.
Ever.
Ever.
Respect yourself.
So
It's not up to my standards.
Insane.
okay, well then make it.
What standards
Do
you
what
got,
your
bro? Have
damn
you made a
self.
thing in your life?
Yep.
What standards do
You're
you have?
done.
Don't ask me to make it again.
Lower your standard.
Oh.
No lowering standards, but
Wait, which one do I want?
that dude needs lower standards. No, I'm kidding.
If you want lower standards, go to Chipotle. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, you did not. say it.
That was good. We haven't had a Chipotle joke in so long from
No.
Sam. This is a special moment.
Yeah, it felt good. SJ's not even here. SJ across the world. But I still have the hatred.
He said, "I'm untouchable right now."
SJ, what you gonna do about
He
it?
loves
girl?
Qdoba and he hates Chipotle.
Chipotle
He's
is so
about to
much
double down
better.
now.
Chipotle is better.
We're so opposites on everything. I can't believe we're both Sams.
I know.
Okay, so update. We had a long conversation last night, and I met with my therapist virtually this morning. I'm not sure where to start. My therapist knows a couples counselor who specializes in veterans/military spouses couples, as well as neurospecies. I still need to speak with fiance, but if he agrees to give it a try, trauma from a therapist in teen years and was not equipped to deal with a ND, we will begin seeing them hopefully once a month up until the wedding, which is a few years away. Some visits will be separate, some will be together. We will be treating this as a one-off incident, culminating from a few key factors which will be discussed below. When fiance D came home yesterday, we had a full convo about what is and is not acceptable treatment. We both acknowledged we had our own issues and triggers, and it is our own responsibility as adults to keep them in check and not act like children. I told him I will not be accepting any of the wifely duties BS, and he agreed it was uncalled for and apologized. He had called his father on the way home from work, and the man tore him a new asshole, which I believe. His father is a good guy, and if he had been the one raising D, I believe a lot of his issues would be non-existent. I told D I do not want to view him how his mom views his stepdad, and he will be cutting contact with stepdad. Stepdad would put Tate to shame with how he views women.
Woo!
Nope.
Therapist was shocked when I told them everything that had happened, especially since I've said very positive things about my partner up until this issue. D has not been a demanding brat or a man-child, as many of you called him, until we got engaged. And therapist's thoughts was that stepdad had probably put a lot of ideas into D's head about what women's roles are, and he inadvertently used how I show affection against me. Therapist said I need to recognize that while there is now a possible explanation for that behavior, it is by no means an excuse for it. And
Exactly.
I do not deserve to be taken advantage of.
Exactly.
I fully agree and will be periodically checking myself on if I'm doing things because I want to or because I feel obligated to. I will also be working on being honest with my partner on when I don't feel like doing things around the house or need help. I told my partner that I believe I'm getting burnt out as it is craft season, so not only am I working full-time job, I'm also taking care of the house and running a business. That I did not feel like I could ask him for help around the house because he always says how he appreciates I'm his peace of mind, and I didn't want to disappoint him by saying that I needed help. He agreed he needs to be more mindful of my stress levels, and until I feel comfortable asking for help overall, he will be asking if I need help with anything and doing more of the household chores to alleviate the stress.
Good.
He said he knows how much I love my business, and he didn't realize that something you could love could be stressful. and then had a moment where he realized that he can be stressful even though I love him too. Therapists will be reviewing their notes from our previous meetings more deeply. My routines to combat my AUDHD may be putting me on the path to OCD-like tendencies, and I may need to let loose more than I think I do. We will discuss this at our next meeting. They were proud that my fiance and I were able to effectively communicate without yelling, even after our heated text message exchanges. This, amongst other things, leads therapists to believe this may just be a rough patch and we can still work on fixing our partnership. In regards to him throwing out the food I made, he said it was way too spicy for him. I love this man very much, but his spice tolerance is at a mayonnaise level, and my own is like, I love eating hot peppers for fun.
Oh
I did
shit.
end up trying some of the leftovers. It was very, very spicy for being a recipe that I know by heart. I checked the wrapper from the sausage because that was the only thing I could think of, and it was habanero sausage. My grandpa had given it to me to use in making chili for a potluck, and I hadn't noticed that the label was different than usual. We both laughed it off, and I told him that next time he should choose his words more carefully because I thought he didn't like it and was being petty, and many of you thought he was just being an asshole. Nope, he didn't want me to poke fun at him for not being able to handle the heat. Sorry that a good chunk of you will be disappointed that I'm not leaving him. I've never subscribed to judging a whole relationship based on one story told on the internet, but I know this isn't what people came here to do. I am aware that I can leave him at any time for any reason, especially if it isn't an issue that can be worked out.
Okay.
I don't agree with that. Like, what he said is not being an asshole. That is being an asshole. So
He
it's
was
not
an
up to my
asshole.
Standards.
Right.
Yeah.
That's an asshole way
That's
to say
still
it.
rude.
He didn't say like, oh, it's. I kind of get like not wanting to be made fun of, like he's constantly made fun of his spice, but that is literally an asshole way to say
Right.
it.
Yeah.
It's not up to my standards for someone who's cooking something and you're not at a restaurant. So I'm like, what are you talking about? That's not an asshole
You
way.
could have easily said it just tastes different.
Yeah.
Right.
You just say it's too spicy. Don't be a fucking
And,
ass about it.
Ma'am, you knew that was spicy.
She did.
You knew it.
Both of the Sams have a feeling
You
that
knew
it was.
And
I
it's
wouldn't
okay.
say
You
I would.
deserved it.
I bet there's like several peppers around the wrapper, and she's like, "This looks
She's like,
different,
"This
but I don't know
She
what."
can smell it.
Yeah,
There's just like the toxic
spice is
warning
coming.
size.
She's like,
But I agree. I would have done the same damn thing. Put that spice in there. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, no, you sound smart. You sound like you think things through before you make hasty decisions.
Mhm.
Besides putting the spice in his food. I'm kidding. I'm kidding again. But you sound smart. You sound like you think before you make huge decisions. So that's a good thing. Husband still. It's good that he realizes that that's not your obligation, that you are actually doing things. And it's good that he's willing to help you out, even if it's hard for you to let go. Sometimes you need to let go, even if it's not doing it the way.
No, sometimes you need to pop out and show niggas.
Yeah, I think I'm happy that OP was able that her and her partner her fiance are in counseling and that they're working through it and that almost everything that she had an issue with is being addressed and that she also understands like if this doesn't work out, that's fine. I know that I can leave him, but we're trying to see if we can work out, and we're pretty sure that we can because he seems to have an understanding of that now.
Yeah.
And he's literally cutting off contact with somebody who probably was influencing him to view women in a negative mindset. I just worry that the fact is that you noticed he changed once you guys became engaged or moved in or something.
True. Very true.
Oh my God.
Red flag.
Yeah, he changed once you got engaged. That's the only thing that I would worry about. But I mean, if you already clocked it, then you're like, hey, you're changing. We're not married yet. You're changing.
Exactly. We're not married yet.
So you might want to change that. And another thing I mentioned before that I wanted to say again is it sounds like, I just hope that he's able to really help equalize the mental load because it sounds like you have a lot on your mind. Obviously, you said that. But I just hope that he's able to carry so much of what you're used to carrying all the time.
Yeah.
And he doesn't basically like after a few weeks be like, listen, I can't do this anymore. This is too much.
Can
don't
you
want him
imagine?
to ever
After not doing
go
anything.
back on like understanding that you need help and then like kind of going back and be like, well, it's too much for me to handle, so I don't really know what we're gonna do.
Right.
Or the fact that he's like, and maybe this is gonna work for you guys because this is what you communicated, so maybe I'm just understanding this wrong, but him basically saying, I'm gonna ask you when you need help. Like, I would just hope that as time goes on that you would understand, like, okay, this needs to be done, this needs to be done, we need to do this. That's kind of the whole point of helping with mental load, is you learn and understand like what you need to do for your family to run properly,
Yeah.
not you being on autopilot all the time.
Take some initiative.
Yeah.
Even your
Learn
job
to
would,
say
I think,
no.
Your boss would hate that. If I'm like, I'm gonna tell you every single thing.
Teach him how to make himself
Yeah.
a sandwich.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Letting your partner fill in the gap.
So hope everything works out well for you, OP, and I hope that
Good luck.
Like you said, you checked his behavior, you figured out why he was acting the way he was acting, and everything goes smoothly for you guys. So.
And I do want to applaud OP for recognizing things that she may be doing that contributes to the situation.
Yeah.
Because I do find a lot of people don't have like a lot of self-awareness of like how I can contribute to problems that are happening. I've never met one situation where it was all one person and the other person had nothing to do with it at all. So recognizing like, hey, there might be some things that I'm doing that might contribute to this or make it worse, which is a good thing to have that knowledge about yourself. Because it's like that one story is probably a couple weeks now, that girl who made the song about going across the country to Texas. Have you guys heard this song? She did. I feel like
Walking my way downtown.
Basically, she writes a song about her boyfriend coming to her and saying, I want to move back to Texas and be closer to my dad. And so she proceeds to like, I think they live in California. She like leaves her comedy troupe. She moves to Texas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
then he break up with
back.
her.
I think he was on vacation. He comes back and he gives her a note and says, basically, I don't think we were compatible, and we break up, and so she moves.
My wife has anxiety disorder, and she worries if the food won't taste good, she'll never cook. Aww. Aww.
Mom in Florida.
Yeah.
And so it's a song about that. And of course, you're hearing the song, you're like, dang, that's crazy. Like, you moved up your whole life, and she's like, all this stuff. But then when you think about it more, you're like, also, we're hearing one side of the story. We don't know, like, what contributed to this situation. So it's like, you also have to take accountability for things you did in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
He could have not been like commutative or like all this stuff, but I'm like, what did you also do in that situation that contributed to this? Not saying you deserve to be like made fun of or made to like feel stupid in this way, but you contribute in these relationships. Are killing each other?
I don't like this.
Oh.
Because if it's the story that I think about, she did everything that she could.
Better not be. Not in my neighborhood. Goddamn geese.
Alright. Look at how fucking nonstop and restless the delivery circuit is. Ugh. Like, you can't actually take break in this shit. Ever. Finish this shit. then change the podcast. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Oh, it's empty. Right. Gosh darn it. Not enough. We literally just need so little. There you go. What is this one? Excavation. Where's the third one? What's the third fragment? Did we find it? Oh, I'm tripping. Uh, shut. I don't know. I don't know if we have all three. I would like to think that we do, but I don't know. I don't like that. But whatever. Oh. All right.
A lemon.
A limon pour frère.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I am so excited to have you here today.
Thanks.
Are
Did
you?
we start now?
Yeah, we're rolling.
Oh.
Just like
And just
that,
like
we're
that.
in it.
SJP, holla at me.
You guys are seeing a new face. You're hearing a new, beautiful voice.
Oh.
I'm so excited to introduce you to my friend Richa.
Hello.
What were you talking about? We were like, okay, what's your elevator pitch going to be?
I know. I don't know how to I'm not socially awkward, but I think I'm socially awkward when I have to talk about myself. You know what I mean? I
Isn't
don't
everyone?
know what to say. I'm Richa.
Mhm.
I'm Morgan's friend.
Yep.
That's what I say to everybody, by the way, even when I'm not in this room.
Okay.
That's how I present
Yes.
myself.
Everything is going so
From
fast.
California.
I'm here for the
Still here to
shit.
stay, and yeah, I don't know. I'm just a normie. I'm not exciting.
A muggle.
I'm a muggle. I am fully a muggle. Did you
It
see
sounds
that?
like a slur when you say it out loud. Like
It does.
Like, and I know that's what it kind of is in Harry Potter world.
Yes.
But it does feel good saying it.
I know, but there was an interview recently with one of the actresses from Harry Potter, like an older actress, and she was like, the people that are still obsessed with Harry Potter need to move on. Like, that's a problem. I felt personally attacked. I was like, okay, let me go throw away all the things from Potter World that I have at home.
Oh my God, what's your Patronus?
I feel like I got an elephant once on a Harry Potter World quiz,
I can
which
see
felt
that.
a little bit targeted at me being Indian. I'm just kidding. I think I just positioned it that way, but I love elephants, so I'll take it.
Elephants are magical. Have you met one?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
In India.
Yeah.
I don't ride. I'm not into the
No.
riding of the animal, but I have visited and seen many.
Yeah, I went to a sanctuary in Thailand, and they are just such magical.
And they throw the water on you with their trunk.
Oh, they're so cool. We got to give them a mud bath.
I
love elephants. I got a horse for my Patronus, so
that feels so accurate.
A white stallion.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's very you.
Yeah, and I was a Ravenclaw.
Ooh, I'm a Gryffindor. But this is becoming.
Okay.
You should have chosen Harry Potter.
Fuck.
Next time. But I'm a Gryffindor.
Okay. I could see that for you.
Just in case anyone wanted to know.
You're kind of like this athletic, perfect little person, just going through life, crushing it.
Oh, no. I don't know about that.
Aww.
Rich is a big deal.
Oh, no. Small deal.
No, you're just so cute. And I feel like I'm really excited to have you because you are just such a authentic, genuine, kind individual. You show up for your friends in big, meaningful ways. Family, you're just so family oriented. You're always flying to India to go to weddings, and I just live vicariously through you a little bit when I see all your fun celebrations, and you're just adorable.
She is, but I want to hear the stories.
So this first one is only 7 hours old, coming from our very own Two Hot Takes subreddit. It is titled, "Husband Attacks in His Sleep. I haven't slept in days."
I'm ready for it.
I'm 24 female, and my husband is 24 male. We are happily married. We've been married a year, known each other since 2018, officially dated all 2022, and then married 2023. We have a history like a rom-com. I am very in love with this man. He's not abusive or anything. There's literally nothing wrong. I'm just at the end of my rope with this, and I have no idea what to do. This is a vent, but I'm open to any advice.
Aww.
So my husband has always had trouble sleeping. He complains that he hardly ever has dreams. I'm talking 1 to 4 dreams
Oh my
per
God.
year. He also can talk, blink, and act like he's awake aside from actually getting up. This has made for some funny times as I'm a light sleeper. In the middle of the night, I'll ask him something and he'll say the most random and funniest things. He has no memory of this in the morning, and we laugh about it. This is the actual issue, though. He will also flail his arms and smack me in the face. He's a mechanic/gym rat. His arms are like meaty weights. It's not intentional. I once
I
smacked him back
fucking
in
hope
surprise,
so.
and he literally laughed, then whined that it's raining too hard and turned over. He's not awake or aware of any of this. He'll apologize like crazy the next morning and do anything to make up for it. It hurts to see him so upset at something he can't control. This man has literally come home from work to take care of a spider for me. I know he doesn't mean to, but Gosh dang it, I want to sleep without being attacked.
Obviously.
Outcast. We've tried separate sleeping, but I hate that. We're snugglers, and he will come to me in the middle of the night, or I will go to him. We joke about who will do it first. I just don't know what to do. This is the third night he's smacked me and then taken the blanket. I'm exhausted. I'm actually desperate for advice. The next plan is a straight jacket.
Yes.
Please help.
Try the jacket, because what the fuck?
Bless her. Okay, as a fellow, very, very, very light sleeper, I can understand her probably just like she's at her wit's end, right? She's
I'd
like,
be losing
what
it.
the heck do I do? I need sleep, but I love this man. I was gonna, in my head, I was like, obviously just different rooms. Like, no, no duh. But I mean, they've already tried that. I get the snuggling thing, but also again, as a fellow light sleeper, like if I'm snuggling with someone, it's all cute and fine. But then I'm like, okay, now I need you to not touch me while I sleep because I'm such a light sleeper. So
I'm the same way.
If she's that close to him and he's like yanking this stuff and hitting her, either they need to like try a week of sleeping in separate rooms and really commit to it so that she can actually, like, she's at her wit's end. What are you going to continue to not sleep?
No.
For the sake of cuddling? Like, you've been with each other long enough where you're like going to be comfortable, hopefully, or, you know, cuddle and then go sleep. But I feel like they should, you know, those like put, not twin beds, but like put two beds together, have your own bedding.
Yes.
Hopefully he doesn't still reach and yank and you're
Damn, that sounds like a lot of work. When we could just put him in a straitjacket. Because what the fuck? Alright, I'll be right back. I have to pee. Bonjour, action movie. Damn. Oh wait, my head hurt like a bitch. Shit. Oh, I think we're done here. Am I tripping? Feels like we're done. Everything is going so fast. All right.
You're not freezing your ass off, but like two separate beddings. You have those like mattresses that are kind of the same mattress, but two different temperatures and whatevers, and put a pillow in between you if he's. I do that all the time.
I
too. I put
know.
pillows in between me and my whoever I'm next to.
That was my idea too. Like those, you know, those pregnancy pillows where they're like
Yes.
really big and long.
Yeah.
Just like have a divider.
Yeah.
I slept in a king bed for like the first time in years.
Yeah.
Like last weekend with Justin. And when he was on his side of the bed and I was on my side of the bed, it felt like we were in different zip codes. Like I didn't feel him move. I didn't feel anything. And we actually sleep with our own blankets. Like I think it's
so key.
It's so much better for your sleep.
Yeah.
Because you stay temperature regulated.
Yeah.
It's like the number one sleep disturbance I've learned from all of like my sheets ads I do. I learned.
That's fair.
I learned.
The plug is real. I feel like it's.
Thank you for
what's
the
the marriage best?
follow.
Like,
The
have
follow
separate
potato
bathrooms
face
if you can
bunny.
afford it, and it's like
Appreciate
something you're
it.
able to do if you're building your own home, two separate toilets or whatever.
I can't find the third
I feel
fragment.
The same about beds. It doesn't have to be two separate beds, but like two separate situations so that you're both covered.
Yeah.
But she's gonna listen to this and be like, "Girl, I told you he's smacking me. He's like a long, meaty hand hitting me across the pregnancy pillow." So then, I mean, you gotta. I don't think you're the asshole, but I don't think anybody's an asshole in this situation. He can't help himself.
No.
And I can't imagine how he's waking up every morning like in anguish over the fact that he's hurting or keeping this, you know, his partner up at night. That sucks. But
I also can't imagine he feels rested the next day.
No.
Can you like imagine like sleeping with your eyes open?
Or maybe he's just so rested. I don't know. That would be crazy. But if I were her, I mean, I can't. I sleep like 5 to 6 hours a night, which is really bad. But if I'm sleeping in the same bed, I know it's not. I have my own sleep problems. See, so this is actually. I know you didn't even know that, but I relate. So if I'm sleeping next to somebody, that goes down to like 2 to 3 hours. It's really bad. So I feel her frustration, but I also feel her like. I feel bad about it.
Yeah.
But I'm so frustrated.
I've become a lighter sleeper with age. And I would love to know if there's any studies, if you guys out there know of any. But I'm wondering if it's because of like being like a biological woman, like where it's like
I
you're
know.
supposed to be a lighter sleeper because of
It's
like
because I'm listening to
child-rearing
Reddit
or,
story.
like, some like biological need. I'm so curious about it because I used to sleep like just a rock.
Really?
And the older I get, the lighter I sleep.
Is that a biological thing? Like
I have no idea.
I've been child rearing for 30 years because I've been a light sleeper all my life.
Oh my God.
That's why I use the data to like gamify my sleep, and I do the like, whatever the trend is, the tart cherry juice and the magnesium, and it kind of helps like chill me out, I guess. But
I gotta get you some good CBD.
Yeah. And I travel, I'm in a hotel half the year, as you know.
That's probably why.
And so
it's hard.
I'm on different coasts every other week, and that doesn't really help the situation. But as this girl, I can only imagine how you just can't operate as a regular human being every day if you can't sleep. So, girl, have your cuddles and then
bye.
That was weird.
Or just even like two beds in the like sleep.
We're not
have them
even
sleep on the same
done.
bed, and you're in the real bed or something. Try out not missing each other, but missing each other enough to be able to sleep.
That's a thing in other countries. I remember I went to, I think it was Hungary, and one of the places we stayed, it was like a queen bed. We asked for a queen, but it was two twin beds pushed together.
So often.
And it's honestly, it was so nice, especially because it was me and Lauren traveling. I'm like, we didn't need to cuddle. This was
I know.
great.
Every time I travel with my girls, I'm like, that's sure. Fine.
I love it. I'm confused why there's no mention of like he's done a sleep study or like he's gonna do a sleep study, because I read this and I'm like, sleep study, non-negotiable.
Yeah.
He's got to go in there, get all the electrodes hooked up. He's got to see what's going on with his sleep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
100%.
Because maybe there's, a little bit of a thing they
'cause
could do.
There is some things that people can do for insomnia or sleep paralysis. I mean, I don't know what he has, but definitely something. I mean, where if he's like literally hitting her now, I'm thinking about like I would put an oven mitt on in the middle of the night so it's like softens the blow or something. Like that sounds crazy, but I would be desperate to
Honestly,
try everything too.
I think he might need a Snuggie. Like, have you seen those little baby sleepers where it's like because you don't want to like have blankets or things that can get loose on
Yeah.
babies. So there's this new thing for babies that all my like nieces and nephews, niece and nephew, I don't know how multiple, have been in.
On my one.
And it's like a flying squirrel outfit. And you just zip them up in it, but then they can't like.
Yeah, the sleep stacks.
Yeah, that's what he needs.
Where is the third fragment? There you go.
It's like, it is kind of a straight jacket.
It is a sleep jacket.
That's what he needs. He could easily have an adult version made. Just team up with a local seamstress, pay her to make it.
He should make it. He should start a company and be like, this is from my personal experience of not whacking my partner in the middle of the night.
I wonder if this would help all those like
what the
sleepwalker people on TikTok too. Their videos are crazy.
I started to get that in my algorithm a lot, and then I was like, am I gonna get influenced to do this? Like, I don't know. It just became a little bit of a dark hole. I know. Poor girl. I hope she figures it out.
I think we get some answers because the top comment says separate sleeping is the best option for now.
Yeah.
Cuddle until he falls asleep.
Oh
And
my
then
God, I
go
just
to the other
want
bed,
to
perhaps.
go to a
Other
high
than that,
point so I
maybe
can
there's
do
a
this shit.
physiological component to it. I would have him see a doctor and get a sleep study done.
Oh, you're so smart.
It's possible he isn't getting good sleep if he's showing this level of activity at night.
Mm-hmm.
OP responds, we've talked about it. He's got the nose thing for now to measure something. He's going in next week.
All right.
I'm wondering if it's measuring like
the breathing rate or something?
or like carbon dioxide output, and if there's like an unhealthy level. I'm not sure. That's just me purely speculating.
Yeah.
But it's probably measuring something.
Yeah.
Because I think when you go in to do the sleep study, you get all the electrodes, you get the nose thing. They hook you up.
Dang.
Yeah,
I
they
really want
do.
to do one.
We should do that.
I really
want to
do
girls'
it.
night. We like go to brunch and then go fall asleep.
I'd be so down. Sometimes I wake up like choking, and I'm like, do I have sleep apnea?
Choking on air?
I think my tonsils.
That's its own episode, Morgan. I mean, damn.
Oh.
What do you mean?
I like feel like I stop breathing sometimes, then I just like cough myself awake. It's a really
Are you a
weird
back sleeper?
Yeah.
I am too, because Jennifer Lopez, who is like fine, she's neutral. I'm
I
neutral.
was deciding my decree.
But no wrinkles, so it's like mummy sleep.
Yeah.
And I put pillows on every side of me, and then I just like. But I can understand, I guess, why
something's happening.
Your tonsils are not.
I need my tonsils out.
Oh my God. It's super appreciated, but also it might be a good thing because since I woke up at like a normal hour because I finally had a full night of sleep. I forgot that I'm actually tired as hell. What? Like, I usually stream until fucking morning, but like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that tonight. What time? Ooh. It's almost midnight. This is a short stream. Okay. If I have to sleep early, I need to adjust my streaming schedule. Because, damn. Damn. All right. Better thing. Oh, better. Yep. Anyway, I'm gonna work on that another day. Like tomorrow, but tonight I am gonna go to bed earlier. That is crazy. I cannot believe that I'm stopping my stream at midnight. Maybe I'm finally becoming a responsible adult, and it feels great, although I am saddened because my makeup is bomb. But alas, I need to sleep. Oof. Sarah's gonna be so proud of me. Anyway, thank you for those who've been watching. Yo, Nagato, you don't understand. Last night I wasn't streaming, right? I went to sleep around like 7 p.m. and I woke up around 6 a.m. Yeah, I had a lot of sleep to catch up on. So I'm gonna try to be a responsible adult again tonight. But I'm gonna start streaming earlier tomorrow to make up for that. Anyway, take care. I shall see y'all tomorrow. Anais out.